The College Basketball Experience ACC Atlantic Coast Conference 2025-26 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Yes, play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCE SGPN. And remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes! 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 Woo! Welcome! Welcome to the College Basketball Experience ACC All-Coast Conference 2025-26 season preview. Oh, I'll wake up in the morning. Oh, we got college hoops. Hey, it's great to be here. YouTube.com/The College Experience. It feels good. Episode 1 since April for this man right here. Some know me as a fucking moron. The others know me as Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
I have many of good memories. Going to Maryland basketball camp with Gary Williams, right? When they were in the ACC, when they were all coast, right? Every single night. I mean, I'm telling you, growing up, I wish I could show you fuckers. Just catching games left and right. Donald Williams, Kenny Anderson, fucking James Forrest. You can go on and on. Greg Buckner. You got Walt Williams. I know he's big. He's a Big Ten now. He's a Big Ten guy now, right? Ridiculous. Excited about this. I will be at ACC Media Days in just 4 fucking days. I am joined by my co-host. He's also the host of the College Football Experience and the FCS College Football Experience. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Monetline Mac. What's up, brother?
I am most excited for the ACC this year. This is going to be a strong-ass preview, baby. Let's go.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
We are also joined by third man in the booth. He is the host of the College Baseball Experience, and he is always serving high heat. All right, give it up for the great Noah Bienick. How are you, buddy?
What's going on, guys? Cannot wait to get into the season, but preview season's a lot of fun too. Went back and listened to last year's episode to kind of get a read on how our predictions were. All 4 of us, because we had NC Nick on the ACC preview as well. All 4 of us picked Duke to win the regular season. That came through. They went 19-1. NC Nick picked Duke to win the conference tournament. They did?
Yeah. Flag was injured, but they still won it.
Yes. I think they beat Louisville in the championship game there.
Yeah.
So Nick was right there. I picked Clemson, Mac picked Wake Forest, and Colby picked Notre Dame. That was
wow.
That was Mac and I's sleeper.
Wait, was that
went?
That was before. Didn't Marcus Burton get injured last year?
Yeah, for a little bit. He missed like 8 games or so.
That was everything. All right. Don't stand in my son.
Notre Dame's claim to fame from last year was that actually no, they went 0-3 in that NIL tournament or whatever.
They should have beat North Carolina at home. Remember the crazy buzzer beater in South Bend? Oh my! Can't believe
I'm still sick. I'm still sick from that.
That was ridiculous. I couldn't believe they lost that game.
Mac and I had Notre Dame as our sleeper. They were 7-13 in 2024. I think they went 8-12 in 2025. So busted there for us. Nick had Georgia Tech as a sleeper. They went 10-10 in 25, an improvement from 7-13 from the season prior. So that's a good check mark in a big ass conference like this. And then Colby called for Cal to make an improvement. They finished 6-14. So
they did improve. Eye test wise, they were improved. Now Notre Dame, terrible pick. I feel like Cal was actually better eye test wise.
He's like Mark Madsen.
His dance. All right.
That wasn't even your worst pick when it comes to this, Colby, because you had Clemson as the bust. They finished second in conference, 18-2.
I think Notre Dame is worse, though, personally. I think the Notre Dame play is probably the worst.
I don't know. Clemson went 18-2 in the league.
I know. But I'm just saying. Yeah.
Then Nick Mack picked Pitt as the bust, and they were 8-12 after.
They got injured, right?
Well, they took 4 games back. They're probably going to take a big step back. I would give that to them. They were 12-8 the year prior, 8-12 last year. And then I went with Virginia Tech. They were 8-12 last year and 10-10 the season prior. So I didn't really hit a home run there, but they did take a little bit of a step back. Overall, I wouldn't say we knocked it out of the park with the preseason predictions last year, but we did get Duke correct. To
be fair, it was a brand new conference with 17 fucking teams. You know what I mean? Like that was
18.
18.
I'm sorry.
Notre Dame.
I'm still in football mode.
Notre Dame selectively plays basketball in the ACC, not football.
Yeah, weak.
Hockey in the Big Ten.
Yeah, and they're so anti-Big Ten in general, but not for hockey. Figure that one out. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I think that stood out in the offseason was, and shout out to Shea Griffin giving us $2, 76-team tournament coming. Sad day for our sport. Yeah, I mean, at least it's not this year. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
We got one more year of sunshine.
Hey, this thing's perfect. Why don't we just fuck it up? How are we going to fuck this up, idiots?
What I was gonna say was how many coaches, if you know, you went back and listened to last season's I don't ever listen to myself because
I did not listen to the full episode, just the production portion.
Good, because I would question your what you were doing in life. But one of the things I thought, and I think I speak for all of us, correct me if I'm wrong though, because I do report a lot, would be, I think all of us probably thought there would be a bunch of coaches being fired. Some of us may have predicted James Larinaga calling it quit. Quits, that is, not quit. I don't think any of us would have had Kevin Keats gone. I think after that Final Four run, you were thinking he's good for a couple more years. He restructured, but that happened. But the big ones are Steve Forbes, still coaching. Jeff Capel, still coaching in the conference. Earl Grant, still coaching in the conference. I mean, I don't know. I guess Dan Summer wasn't on the hot seat because he was so young of a hire. But are you guys surprised at that? It seems like that was kind of the thing, just college sports in general. I remember like a lot of people thought in the SEC we're going to see all these last season. You thought Sam Pittman would be fired. You thought Napier would be fired. You thought so on and so on and so on. Hugh Freeze maybe. Clark Lee maybe. But they had breakthrough seasons, and Do you think some of that is accurate here, or do you think this is all NIL based, knowing they had to pay players?
Probably the latter. And I think we'll see. What did we end up with? 4 last year? Virginia, NC State, Miami, and Florida
Virginia,
State.
we knew coming into the was that after our preview?
It was after our preview.
Hilarious. Yeah. Well, I'm blaming it all on that. I'm blaming all my terrible picks on that.
I think this year, I mean, how many do we think are going to be on the hot seat? I mean, Forbes has got to be on the hot seat. You got to think Mike Young.
He's been on the hot seat for 3 years, dude.
The rumor is that he turned down the West Virginia job, according to his people. Well, he's on crack if he turned down the West Virginia job to stay on the hot seat down in Winston-Salem. He didn't turn down the fucking West Virginia job.
You said Mike Young. They're going to be making a football hire, though. Are they really going to do both and have enough money for both?
I mean, Mike Young, 2 years or 3 years they haven't made the NCAA tournament?
No, I agree with you, but I'm just saying they just fired their football coach. Normally, you don't hire a football and basketball coach the same year.
Is he on a contract year? He may be on a contract year.
That could be. That could be.
Yeah, I'd have to look. But, I mean, Altry at Syracuse, his seat's got to be a little bit warm.
Oh, my God. His seat should be on fire.
On fire? Hubert Davis. I mean, I know they cheated and rigged the NCAA tournament to get them in. He has been underwhelming at Carolina outside of year number 1. And then I would look at also Madsen.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
That seat's starting to warm.
I would throw Grant.
Oh, yeah. That thing's on fire. That seat, he knows it. He's already looking at property in South Carolina again. He's saying like it's just vacation stuff, but yeah, we know the reason.
Jeff Capel
at Pitt. You got to think this is amazing. They have a new athletic director, a new president. You got to think this is the year, right?
Could be it for Narduzzi and Capel in the same year.
That one I could believe because of all the turnover. Virginia, they still have to fire Whit Babcock. You're asking a lot there, but yeah, because you might be having a new athletic director in the next couple. So I think Mike Young's kind of in a sweet spot right now. Personally, I would almost bet that he's back next year, and then next year is the year that he would be on the coaching hot seat.
And I would think there's more pressure on this group that we just named because Will Wade and Ryan are going to come in and win in this league because they're proven winners. Last year, Pat Kelsey came in and just steamrolled through this league, and even Andy Enfield, year 1 at SMU.
I want it known that Louisville schedule was really soft.
It was, but they went 18-2. I mean,
yeah, and they played as the first game, and then they went like
16
wins
and they steamrolled all these average coaches that we were talking about. So there's some bad heat with. I think there's a separation in the coaching tiers now.
But I also think you're kind of seeing it. You're specifically seeing it in football, but I think it's going to start trickling into basketball and baseball. Those are the 3 sports that can make any bit of money in college sports. So you're starting to see a greater focus on throwing your money there and being competitive and saying, hey, before we were on easy street, we're just cashing our checks. Didn't matter who the fuck we're putting out there. Now you really have to get your shit together because there is a world I think a lot of athletic directors are worried about of being left behind. Like if you don't contribute anything to football or basketball, and in some conferences baseball, then you need to start looking out for where the fuck you're going to end up. You're going to end up in the Atlantic 10. No disrespect to the Atlantic 10, but I'm saying like you really have to worry about that. And that's why you've seen at universities kind of throughout. And I in a way I find it refreshing, even though many would be turned off by it. I do find it refreshing that some of the schools are just coming out of the woodworks to invest in football and basketball and maybe even baseball. So I think that's going to make for even more of a compelling. The ACC, let's be honest. I know you like to shit on Mac, but I have a strong love for the history of this conference and what it was. There was a point where I was just rattling off names where every fucking coach in this conference was legit, and it fell off. Everyone, I think, and they added some teams that didn't put basketball first, but for whatever reason, it fell off. Some legends retired, and they got to get back to that. They got to get back to that, and I think it started with Pat Kelsey, perhaps, And maybe we saw some names that came in this year that I think is showing that they're going back in and they're aware that, hey, we got to fix this before we get fucked over here.
Well, that's the core of my argument shitting on the ACC over the last 3 years. Is these hires are lazy. These teams are not as good as they were, and the arrogance of their fan bases and administrations, where they thought when it came to Selection Sunday they should be treated like the old ACC, and it was like these teams aren't what they were, and they lost Krzyzewski, Roy Williams, Jim Boeheim. You go down all these guys that are in the Hall of Fame, and they just promoted within or had lazy hires. And so, yeah, they're finally coming back around. I think the ACC is going to be good this year. It won't be a mid-major plus like it's been over the last 2-3 years.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, man, they had Dean Smith, Coach K, Bobby Crimmins, Gary Williams. What's my guy's name? Rick Barnes at Clemson. Jimmy V. I mean, at one point it was just you had what's his name? Odom, his dad at Wake Forest. I mean, at one point it was so fucking good. They got to get back. They at least got to get back to being good, doesn't it? I mean, that's hard to mimic. You get that much, but get back to being good. That's part of the reason why you've seen the Big 12 develop, and the SEC develop into what it is now known as a much more respectable basketball conference. I can remember in my life, back when I was young, SEC would be laughed at a basketball conference. Like, laughed at. Minus Kentucky, you'd be like, yeah, this conference fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Same with the Big 8/Big 12. And the change.
Are the best league in my mind last year. So
yeah. Anyway, let's get to this because we're just rattling. We got to go through 1,000 teams.
20 minutes on coaching, and we've got 18 teams to preview.
And are we going alphabetically? Is that the way you guys do it? Okay.
Yeah, slide. All right, let me throw up the slideshow for you.
Well, first, I'll tell people that we are part of the College Basketball Experience, is part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Download the SGPN app at the App Store or Google Play Store. You'll get free access to all of our picks, our podcasts, our written content. So get on over there and check it out. Free to download. And remember, as always, to let it ride. All right. Pussy Pack. No, that's not our first team. Our first team is Boston College and Earl Grant. I'm rooting for Earl. He had the 2 years ago had a winning record, but man, overall, shout out to Clark. Oh yeah, let's go, brother. They were 16-17 year one there in Chestnut Hill. Then they go to 20-16, and you're thinking, okay, they made some strides, but then boom, 12-19. And you know, they kind of got hit in the portal that year too. So it is
13,
definitely
13 and 20 year prior. Ryan's been doing the previous 3 years for each slide. So
wait, the year prior to 22 and 23.
16
okay.
and 17 was year 2, so they actually improved by 3 games too. So
yeah, I mean, you got to know it's a make or break year. Boston College has got to be one of these schools that has to be considering, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we got to get our shit together. Football, basketball, we get our shit together. This is exactly the school that will end up in the Atlantic 10, by the way, if you don't get your shit together. And look, I'm rooting for Earl, man, but I also think it's a tough gig. And, you know, I wonder what Al Skinner had this thing going, but man, they have been ass for a while, but guess what? They do return a little bit of production. Fred Payne is back at the 2-guard spot. Donald Hand. They also went out in the portal and added some guys, getting Chase Forte from South Dakota, the Coyotes, Aiden Shaw from Mizzou. They're excited about freshman Marco Radun and Novik. Also, Jason Esmata comes in from Baylor. He played just 1 year there in Waco, Texas. And then Bowden Kapke coming in from the Butler Bulldogs. Well, you'd like to have a little bit more returning production. Did I say Jaden Hastings? He's back as well, but Still not a ton of production back. But
yeah,
I guess
that's it's a common theme in the conference too. Only 36% of their minutes return. That's actually the 5th most in the ACC. So a lot of these teams not bringing back a ton.
Yeah, I know we're going to do our predictions at the end, but I'm not extremely bullish on Boston College coming into this season. Mac, perhaps are you?
No, I'm not. I like you said, I'm rooting for Earl Grant. Heading into year number 5 kind of feels like a little bit of a make or break year. They haven't finished above 10th in his 4 years. I think one of the main things is they kind of just struggled to find an identity. Last year they weren't really good offensively or defensively. So the year that they were pretty good, the 20-win season, they were in the top 100 in offense. But this is still a bottom tier team in the ACC for me. Maybe they can win a shitload of close games and they could get to 500 is their ceiling, but they will be in the bottom portion of the standings for me.
Yeah. 4 straight years below average offensive and defensive rating in the ACC. So not even just last year with what Mac was saying. It's just the entire tenure. Just kind of struggled on both ends of the ball. I'm not crazy about this year's defensive potential. I do think that Donald Hand is a great shooter. He shot 37% from deep on almost 7 attempts per game. And I think Chase Forte's size and speed will be able to translate into the ACC for him. However, I just think BC lacks experience and depth. It's a bottom 5 team for me.
How about this, guys? From 94 to 2008, Jim O'Brien and Al Skinner era, they made the NCAA tournament 10 times in that stretch. Since then, they have 0 NCAA tournament appearances. This is the worst stretch in Boston College basketball history, by the way. If anything, from 2009 on to 24, what's that? 15 years. They have 2 winning seasons, and those 2 winning seasons were just actually the best season that they've had is Grant 2 years ago, 20 wins. I mean, this is what I mean by the conference. I know they were in the Big East, but the Big East was a very good basketball conference those years too. But I'm just saying they were on easy mode. They just said, hey, we're cashing these Big East checks. And some of that was in the beginning of the ACC, by the way, too. Like Al Skinner had them going right when they entered the ACC. They made the NCAA tournament 3 of their first years in the ACC. So this thing happened to me while they were in the ACC. They said, hey, we're cashing these checks. We're good. They got lazy. And they are, to me, one of the best examples of getting lazy and just saying, okay, that's too long without an NCAA tournament. You're a fucking major school. You know what I mean? You're in the city, too.
And you're in Boston.
That's what I'm saying. The Northeast produces great basketball players, too. I don't believe, like, this should ever happen. Like, this... And I'm not trying to shit on Grant. Like I said, Grant's got the best season since 2009. But for whatever reason, they're not, I don't even know that it's all coaching. It could be administrative, you know what I mean? But I have my concerns moving forward. All right. Next up, we got the California Golden Bears. My boys from last year. Mark Madsen. What's that?
So you going back to the well this year?
I do happen to like some of the pieces. And I thought they lost close. This program is another one. They're in very similar vein as Boston College. Now, this didn't start in the ACC. This started in the Pac-12. But, man, how about, from, 92? From 92 to 2012, this team had, they made the Sweet 16 multiple times, right? They were a decent basketball program with Mike Montgomery, Bren Braun, and Campanelli and Bozeman. But since 2012, I guess even with Quanzo Martin, they made the NCAA tournament in 15. They're not as bad as Boston College, but still, how about this? Since 2017, when Jones and then Mark Fox came in, They have been absolute ass. Their best season since 17 is a 14-18 season, which was the first year under Mark Fox.
Hilarious.
Now, Madsen was 14-19 last year. After he actually was better, guys. He did improve, so you guys can fuck off very much. They were 13-19 the year before in the Pac-12, so they entered the conference and actually were better. It's all how you look at it, guys. 97-89 overall as a head ball coach of where was he before? Utah Valley, was
Utah
it?
Valley, yeah. He had that 28-9 that
That's
year.
saving his ass right now. That is saving his ass right now. You look at this year's team, they have Scottie Pippen's son, don't they?
Yes.
I feel like that's that right there should buy another 6 people tickets. So Scottie Pippen's son, Justin Pippen, transfers in from Michigan. They bring in this Sammy Yini was a top 100 recruit at one point, coming in from Grand Canyon. Ames, it's Day, from Virginia coming in. Chris Bell from Syracuse coming in. Josh Camden coming in. I mean, they return DJ Campbell. They return Lee Dort. He's throwing Dorts over there. And Ritus, our boy, Ritus Petratus. Is that what it is?
Yeah, from Air Force.
That's our boy right there.
Yeah.
They will be better this year. They will be better. I'm buying in that this is working out here. They will be better than Boston College, guys. Write it.
Sidebar.
Mac, your thoughts on these Golden Bears?
Yeah, I agree. They'll be better than Boston College. They're super old. They're the oldest team in the ACC. So I know they don't really return that much from last year's team. I don't think that's a bad thing. 2 transfers coming in from within the ACC that have played minutes in this league already. I think they could finish around 500 in this league. Maybe this could be a little bit of a surprise team. Madsen makes a big jump in year 3, year 2 in the ACC.
Yeah, I agree. He was a great coach with Utah Valley. We saw the Wolverines steadily climb from 5 to 9, 10, 15 wins in his 4 years. He's outperformed preseason expectations in both seasons at Cal and in 5 straight years as a head coach, period. Now, like Mac mentioned, a most experienced roster in the preseason for the ACC, according to Torvik. You've got Chris Bell, who has ACC experience, John Camden coming in from Delaware, Ritus Petritis. They're all great shooters from deep, outstanding length for defense as well. And for me, Day Ames is the X factor. Just how well he steps into that true point guard role will determine how good this team might be. Can they get to 500 in the ACC? Cal only tallied 1 road win last year.
I was just about to ask about that. How much of this are we concerned just the travel?
It's so tough with the travel. So I have to project Cal to finish under 500 again. I think they'll be more towards the middle of the pack this year because I do like Madsen as a coach, and I think there's some program trajectory here to like. But yeah, they're also a bottom half team for me as well.
I really think I want to say they're like my surprise team, but I do just worry about being out there on the island that is Berkeley, California. Like it's just a ridiculous. You're asking just a lot from your team. I think we haven't had the data yet to back this up, but I think once we get 4 or 5 years into this, we're gonna look at this and say all these fucking teams have really hurt their programs. But I'm optimistic about Cal this year. We'll see. They need some more home support too. I feel like football actually has the fans show up. Basketball, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since the fans showed up for basketball. Maybe that's the Warriors being amazing in the NBA. Maybe that's just dropping a bunch of acid in Berkeley. I don't know, but I feel like that it's overdue. It's overdue. Shout out to Austin saying he loves betting on Madsen. Next up, let's go to this guy, Brad Brownell and the Clemson Tigers. I'm joking, Brad. You're a hell of a good coach, buddy. How about the stretch that he's doing here, man?
Yeah, they've really turned it around in the portal era.
And I know they gave him a long leash, I think, because he's friends with Dabo, right?
Yes.
Well, it's paid off with, obviously, what was it, 2 years ago, the magical run to, what was that, the Elite Eight?
The Elite Eight.
Yeah. Last year, the first round of the NCAA tournament. I mean, he's made the NCAA tournament 3 of the past 5 years. Now, granted, he's lost in the first round 2 of those years. But made the NIT. I mean, there's been a winning record every single year. They haven't had a losing record really since 2012 under Brownell.
Yep. And
when you consider, before, with the exception of Barnes or Cliff Ellis, they had many losing seasons prior to that. So, yeah, I mean, they're kind of like in the new ACC. They're kind of one of the name brands, so to speak. Now, this team in general,
brand new.
Yes, I know. I think we highlighted this, maybe just between us, but the Nick Davidson get in the portal is so on brand.
Yes,
so on brand for them.
It.
Yeah, so on brand for them. Coming in from Nevada where he played, and also Butta Johnson coming in from UAB. If you followed UAB, he's been pretty solid for them. RJ Godfrey comes in from them dogs. Disgusting. Getting a Georgia transfer.
Well, he's a boomerang. He started at Clemson, too.
That's right. That's right.
Just goes where he wants.
Yeah. Justin Porter from Middle Tennessee coming in. And then Carter Welling from Utah Valley, as well as Jake Wayland from Utah. They do have a 4-star recruit they're excited about, Zach Foster at the guard spot coming in. And they do return Dylan Hunter. Dylan, you son of a bitch. I still, at this point, I like some of those transfer gets.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to eat shit on them again, guys. Now, do I think I still think that they're going to find a way to the NCAA tournament. Write it. Mac, what are you doing here?
About time you come along.
Yeah, Brownell is the perfect complement to a really good football program. He's the perfect basketball coach, under the radar. And you mentioned it, man. His seat was warm before this last 3-year run where they've won 23 plus games 3 straight years. They get to an Elite Eight. He went to a Sweet 16 8-9 years ago. We just said Boston College and Cal are kind of struggling with their identity. Clemson knows what they want to do. They're going to play slow. They're going to guard. They're going to control the backboard. And I think that's why they've been able to just out-tough some of these soft teams in the ACC. Yeah, it's a new roster, but I'm with you. I think that they'll be right there. I think they're more of a bubble team this year just because of all the pieces that they left. But I trust Brownell to win 20-plus and have them right there to make the dance again.
Yeah, in back-to-back seasons, Clemson, they've had a top 30 offense, top 40 defense nationally. Coach Brownell, he's really excelled when his offense has been able to run through these stretch fours. You look at P.J. Hall, Ian Shefflin. This year it's going to be Nick Davidson.
He likes
Colby
the big
mentioned.
white guys.
It's just perfect identity for the program over the last 4 years. And that 5 is going to be Carter Welling. You look at last year, Victor Locken was a perfect rim protector to allow Shefflin to be that stretch 4. And I think Welling's going to be pretty much exactly the same with a little bit less offense to his game than Locken had. Big thing here is Dylan Hunter going to have to step into his brother's shoes as the projected point guard. He's not as skilled of a scorer. And you're kind of relying on the mid-major guard transfers to do the bulk of your work from the backcourt and the shooting-wise. Justin Porter, Butta Johnson, they're going to be relied on to hit some outside shots if the Tigers are going to try to climb into the top 5 of the ACC. For me, I agree with Mac. I have them on the right side of the bubble, NCAA tournament team. Around that 6 or 7 range in the ACC.
You got to wonder, though, if the ACC is getting better as a coaching conference. Say Madsen does have a breakthrough season, and we think that, the Odom hire is good, right?
And Will Wade.
We think Will Wade is good. I mean, who knows with the Florida schools? But does that mean who takes the losses if those teams are better? I mean, I guess Virginia, short of Sanchez,
we'll get to another blue blood that I think might take some losses.
I can tell you one thing: they're not going 18-2 in the ACC this year.
No.
Now that they have some real coaches in this league again. But yeah, Brownell's a good coach though.
All right, folks, I want to tell you that College Basketball Experience is brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football, and basketball, everything else as well. Shit, we got the Yankees Sox going on right now. Hell, go bet $1,000 on a side. Have fun. Enjoy life. We'll be dead in 100 years. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. You can easily deposit and get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to mybookie.ag, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by NoVig. NoVig is America's #1 sports prediction market. And since NoVig is in exchange, you are getting some of the best prices in the market. NoVig's available in 35 different states. Download the NoVig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. So get in on that action with NoVig. Promo code SGPN. All right, we are back. Next up in the order. Oh, boy. Jon Scheyer. I went to a Duke baseball game, and he showed up. It was they were hosting a regional. And, the crowd, Duke's baseball team was good this year. But they were carried, obviously, Scheyer showing up. It took the shine. There. 89-22. Did you hear my phone ringing right there?
I did.
Oh. How did that show up on this?
I don't know. The Dookie fans are going to cancel you for interrupting their golden child here.
I don't understand how that happened.
The golden boy right here.
How do I turn my phone off on this? Anyway, Jon Scheyer, I think it's safe to say he's done a really good job taking over for Coach K. As much as we disagree with his complaints about storming the court, which are ridiculous. One of the greatest field storms ever at Virginia this past week, and that is the sport. Look, Scheyer was 27-9 in his first season. They lost in the second round, I think it was. 27-9 last season. 2 years ago, Elite Eight, and then last season, Final Four, 35-4. They've gotten better each and every year as overall record, but also in the conference. And look, I wish I could come in and be a skeptic. I think they're going to be good. Despite all the production they lost. Yes, we know they lost Flagg and Knuppel and Proctor. They bring in a boozer. From one boozer to another.
2 boozers.
All right. Yeah, that's right. 2 boozers. That's right. But and both are projected to start, right?
Both are
very
good.
Yeah. Caden and Cameron.
Yeah. Well, one I thought was like the big who's
Cameron's the NBA prospect.
Yeah.
Caden's going to be there for probably 2 or 3 years, and he's going to be a good college point guard.
Wait, so you think Caden is going to start right away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Intriguing. Isaiah Evans returns for them, as well as Patrick Ngongba, as well as Malik Brown, who I know NC Nick was very high on this skit. So, guys, why are we taking them to win the ACC?
Because they're going to win it again. They have by far the best roster. And like you said, was Scheyer born on third base, as Harbaugh would say? Yes, but he's done a great job with what he does.
I'm gonna say this. Look, I understand. His statements were very, very annoying regarding that stuff, but compared to some of the other ones you're seeing right now, Autry at Syracuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember my guy's name at Carolina that followed Dean Smith. It was Daughtry, or was it? There was an interim. There was an interim. Guthridge. Yeah. Before Daughtry. These guys all failed that job. So I think it's hard to fucking replace a fucking legend, man. Even though you could say born on third base, but also the expectations are through the fucking roof.
Let's give the egomaniac some credit here, Coach K. Him announcing it before the year allowed Scheyer to recruit his whole team the first year. So in a way, Coach K wanting his little victory tour, farewell tour, really, I thought, set up Scheyer to have his identity in his team year one, and he's just built on it. I mean, that team last year was loaded. I know Duke fans got to be kicking themselves that they didn't find a way to win the national championship, but he's done a great job, and they'll be right there again. I'll be rooting against him every step of the way.
I was about to say, like, I think it's hard to replace a legend, though. Like, in a way, like, as much as you want to say, like, born on third base, I also think, like, I don't know how many people, like, you're seeing Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. They want to fucking, that guy can't order out right now. You know what I mean? Like, you order out, he's gonna get fucking poisoned.
Georgia.
One cyanide sandwich. Bienick, your thoughts?
Yeah, under Coach Scheyer, Duke's had a top 20 defense in all 3 seasons. Last year, the offense was rated number 1, which is fine. I credit that a lot more to Cooper Flagg than anything else, because we saw in crucial moments down the stretch this team just be dysfunctional offensively. A lot of clutch plays out of timeout were just isolation for Flagg, and it did not work against good teams in big moments. And
Lupul was a beast too, man. I liked his game.
Yeah, he was a great shooter, and they were all really good defensively, that team. They fit really well. Brand new team. I totally get it. But the ACC being a little bit better, I think actually helps, because last year that hurt this team 100%. They weren't nearly as tested in January, February, and March, and that hurt them in March. It's Duke. I think they have very good players for both sides of the ball. I'll mention for both boozers, the reason why, like, these two are two very highly touted players is in the AAU streets, they just won every single tournament, and that's, like, not an exaggeration. They won the most tournaments of any prospect, like, in history. So that's kind of what has built up all this hype, specifically around Cam Boozer. He's going to be a one and done. And then Isaiah Evans comes back. He had some really good moments last year as a shooter. This team's going to be a little bit less stout on the defensive end, but they do have Gongba. I think he's going to split a lot of time with Boozer also, who could probably play the 5 here. It's just a young, inexperienced team that will probably have to grow into their identity in the conference season. They'll be good. Duke's probably the front runner. But they need this league to be good in order for them to play well in March again, in my belief. That's why I don't have any futures yet on the Blue Devils, because I want to see how this team plays together early on. They do have a pretty good schedule. Give credit to Scheyer where it's due. He's gone out and scheduled aggressively, and we'll see how well they do.
I'm glad you brought that up. Second night of the season in Charlotte. They're playing Texas. Clark, let's go to the Duke-Texas game.
Yeah, they've really scheduled.
Yeah. I think that's their opening night for Duke and for Texas.
And they play Kansas like week 3 again.
Yeah, and at the Garden, I think.
Yeah,
that's the Garden, right?
Yep. Home and home with Florida.
They're at Army this year, I think I saw.
Yes, yeah, for Army. Coach K. And they're at Sparty. They're playing in Sparty the first Saturday in December.
Can't wait. Shout out to Troy Trinity. Colby likes the white guy. What are you talking about? for football at a running back spot. For basketball.
I think he's talking about Knipple.
Oh, okay. I did like his game, but that's a unicorn.
Hey, I liked Cooper Flagg's game. Everybody can call me racist all they want.
Most of the time when I see white people playing basketball, I fall asleep. You know, I was a UNLV fan, dude. All right, when they played Duke, and UNLV had like one white guy, Dave Rice, got in a little bit playing time. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to say I hate white basketball players, but I will say, you know, there might be some more entertaining stuff out there.
You're not entertained by Bellarmine?
I love Bellarmine, but at the same time, look, we have the term staples for a reason. But these fucking idiots that claimed we were racist for calling UT Rio Grande the Mexicans, even though we were saying it in a positive light. They don't even understand the definition of fucking racism. But, you know, we've called staples, and 99.9% of all staples are white people, right? I mean, let's be honest. There's the occasional. I think we did an episode on this last year.
We did do a
sneaky
dichotomy.
athlete.
There's a rare staple sometimes, which
they're sneaky athletes.
Who is the kid that? Because this is the kid that we were talking about. He like jumped up, stuffed himself at the rim when he tried to dunk, and then he landed like on his face or nose, and Colby like kept replaying it last year.
Oh yeah,
it was that kid.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and it can occasionally happen with black people, or you know, I mean, there's some staples in other races, but like the only one that really, like off the top of my head, and rest in peace to the great Felton Spencer, but Felton Spencer would definitely qualify as since we're talking ACC basketball, he was a Louisville Cardinal, but not when they were in the ACC. But yeah, all right, there. Anyway, I think I've stated my opinion on
great Duke preview.
Thank you. And look, as someone that very much loved Anderson Hunt, Stacey Augmon, Larry Johnson. I mean, we can go on and on about some of the other guys on that team as well, but beating Duke by, 30 in the national championship was pretty much the greatest day that ever happened to sport.
Oh yeah.
NC Nick was crying in the corner. Said, you know, it was just I was loving it. All right. Next up, we got Florida State. Okay, you guys got to help me here because, I mean. Luke, how do I pronounce this again? Locks. Yeah. He played there. I do remember him playing there. But this hire, sell me on this being good. All right, because this is an NBA guy, right? Or
yeah,
it's sell me on this being a great thing moving forward. Mac.
I'm not going to be the one to sell you on it. I mean, I guess the BYU one worked because they had all that money. I don't know if Florida State has all that money. So I don't think that this new NBA is a consistent way, if that makes sense. I think it depends. Context matters. I think it depends on if you have the resources to put the guy in position to succeed. Florida State's a hard basketball job. All the money's going to football whenever they get it. So I know he played there. I know he's one of their own. But, yeah, I was not the biggest fan of this hire.
I would say it completely came out of left field with the exception of, I guess, he's from there and played there. So I guess that's their security blanket there. But, I mean, we've done a deep dive on this, and forgive me because I've been previewing college football for the past 6 months. But the NBA players to come down, I mean, Ewing was a failure at Georgetown. Mullen was a failure at St. John's. Drexler was a failure at Houston. Damon Stoudemire, we'll see. And those are all players, but even the coaches coming down, I feel like often
Eddie Jordan, remember Eddie Jordan?
Yes. It normally just doesn't work, but I will say you have a couple examples, but Bienick, I know, and I guess let me hit on the team because obviously the team is brand new. They went to the portal and brought in, first off, Chauncey Wiggins comes in from Clemson. Shaheed Muhammad from UMass. Robert McRae, our boy. Shout out to Robert McRae. You selling me now. You guys are selling me now on this Florida State team.
You're bought in.
Shout out to Robert McRae and his pops, who I know is a listener to this show. Kobe McGee from Drexel. LeJay Jones from the Bonnies of St. Bonaventure played well for them a year ago. Chauncey Wiggins, as I alluded to, comes in, as well as Alex Steen, a D2 transfer from Florida Southern. And Martin Somerville comes in from UMass Lowell. They return who? A.J. Swinton is their leading scorer coming back, who played 10 minutes a game a season ago and got 2.8 points per game. Yeah, not bullish on Florida State, but Bienick, perhaps are you?
I'm not tremendously bullish on this group, this coach. It's more a wait and see for me. Luke Locks is going to rely on a lot of 3-and-D guys. You look at this roster, and there's some mid-major studs that can shoot the ball really well. For the most part, the newcomers are coming from winning programs with good coaches, so you can give that a little bit of a check to Locks' first year in the transfer portal and kind of with a somewhat late start. And you got a potential starting 5 of 5 seniors. That's always a plus. But there's really questionable depth here. A lot of young guys on the bench. Florida State's a wait-and-see team for me personally, because I am also not fully bought into Locks being a home run hire. I know that, a lot of, I don't know, journalists or whatever are really just kind of pushing this narrative that he's going to be great and he's innovative, and Florida State's going to love that because they haven't had a new coach in forever, and
that's what they said about me when I was going to host this podcast.
That's the positive side of this hire, but again, the program's just going to have to find a new identity, and that takes time. Yeah, I have cold feet. I am not jumped all the way in yet on Florida State.
All right. I mean, yeah, Mac, anything you want to add besides this?
I see a lot of guys transferring up. We got to see this team play. I got him in the bottom of the ACC, bottom half.
All right, next up, we got Georgia Tech and Damon Stoudemire. Obviously, Damon's a legend on the basketball court when he played at Arizona, him and Khalid Reeves. Who was their big man on that team? Chris Mills, was it? It was Chris Mills.
I think so, yeah.
That was a fun team back in the day. Damon Stoudemire, 102 and 112 overall. Obviously, he coached at Pacific before he left for the Boston Celtics, and then came back to the, in that Pacific. I'll say this. I thought he was a little bit better than I thought he would be at Pacific. And maybe that's why he was able to bring in Lamar Washington, a transfer from Pacific who averaged 13.5 points a game from them. But this is another one where, when the hire happened, I know some friends of mine that are Georgia Tech fans. I thought they seemed happy because it was a big name, almost in similar vein to like Coach Prime coming into Colorado. I have my questions from the start if this thing is going to make sense, if the shoe is going to fit. He has gotten better every single year, so there is that. But and they return some guys. Ndongo, the big or the forward, Kawasi Reeves is back, as well as Jaden Mustaf. No relation to Gerard, I don't think. But they bring in a 4-star, Akai Fleming, that I know they're excited about as well. They hit that portal. Lamar Washington from Pacific, Cam Kraft from Miami, Ohio. It's a guy that played very well for the Redskins a year ago. Chaz Kelly III from Boston College. You know what, though? I will say this. I'm curious your guys' thoughts on Stoudemire. I kind of expect them to be chippy. Like he's earned that from me, that you can't count on them just being ass. They can get up some games. Now, do I think he's the long-term answer at Georgia Tech to get the program back to where it was under Paul Hewitt or Coach Crimmins? I don't think so. But I kind of expect them to still be solid. Not the basement of the conference, but not sniffing the NCAA tournament, but just solid. How about you, Mac?
You mentioned it. They are chippy. They're great. They're great in that underdog role. He's beaten Duke. He's beaten Carolina. He's beaten Clemson. But they're bad as a favorite. So they've been very inconsistent under Stoudemire. Last year was a nice jump though, getting to 10-10 on the year. But I don't know what I make of this team. They're kind of in the middle pack of returning production. I kind of think they're around a 500 team. Kind of like the first 2 years here.
Well, and I must apologize. Clark, this is why Clark's great, man. I've met Clark, and he knows his shit with hoops. Jaden Mustaf is the son of Gerard Mustaf. Holy shit. Rest in peace to Gerard Mustaf. I did not know that. Former, Phoenix Suns, power forward. Who played at University of Maryland when I was going to the Maryland basketball camps. Phenomenal. I did not realize that. Wonder what the connection was with Stoudemire besides just being in the NBA and very successful. Bienick, your thoughts on the Yellow Jackets?
So Georgia Tech had a top 5 defense last year in the ACC under Coach Damon Stoudemire. I think they're going to be really good on that end once again with Bandongo, Kavasier Reeves, and Mohamed Salah. But they need to unlock a little bit of another level on the scoring in that department. Mm-hmm. I'm not quite sure the Pacific transfer, Lamar Washington, will be that guy at the point guard position for Yellow Jackets this year. What I will give them credit for is last year they didn't really quit in a lot of the games. They played hard. They played scrappy like you guys have already mentioned. And I like that. So this isn't going to be like a basement team that's basically just totally given up on the back half of the season if something doesn't go right, like a Miami last year. Add in a talented freshman class that's going to be relied on for some key rotation pieces. I'm not super high on Georgia Tech again this year, but there's some recruiting improvement here with Georgia Tech. It just sucks that they lose Nathan George, who was such a big piece for them last year. If they had him coming back, that would be a nice offensive piece, which I think they're going to lack quite a bit on that side of the ball. So I got them in the bottom half, but relatively I'm quite soft when trying to be harsh critic-wise.
All right. So next up, Shake Griffin saying, what are your thoughts on these former NBA players as coaches? Stackhouse
kind of hit on it.
Yeah.
Rewind it like to the Florida State slide.
Not high.
No.
Yeah. It's kind of rare.
90% failure rate.
Yeah, kind of rare. Pat Kelsey and the Louisville Cardinals are next. Louisville, obviously, 27-8. Bienick, cover your ears. A season ago, but great first season. He brought in energy. He talked about how he goes, it doesn't matter if he loses or wins. He's got his hot wife at home.
Love it.
He was 27-8 the year prior when he was at Charleston, and 31-4 before that. And Bienick, is your hatred for Pat Kelsey because he got Larson down to no, that was Wofford, right?
Well, he had him for 1 year.
So I understand the hatred. Okay, there we go.
No. I was not hating Pat Kelsey. I actually like Pat Kelsey. My critique of him last year was at Charleston, they have by far the most resources. They're by far like the number one program in that league, at least in my opinion. So when I thought he was going to take a step up into the ACC, it was going to be a little bit competitive. And a lot of teams with similar resources, similar rosters, he wouldn't do as well. And they overachieved my expectations, and they dealt with quite a few injuries. So very impressed with Pat Kelsey. And if you want my full breakdown, I'm really high on this team this year.
Yeah, well, you know what? As someone that loves college sports, there's nothing more American to me than college sports, and it's like it's like the arms race in Texas, right? In football, Texas says A&M was surpassing Texas, right? Because they were in the SEC, and Texas says we got to get to the SEC. They ditched the Big 12. right? And then they're like, yeah, we're going all in. We're gonna get it back to where Texas should be. And then SMU's like, yeah, we can go to the party. We don't even need your money. Fuck you. We're going all in. Now you have Cody Campbell as a billionaire at Texas Tech saying, yeah, fuck you. Very entertaining to watch all of this go on. While TCU being the last team that made the national championship. So in similar vein, fascinated by what's going on in the state of Kentucky. As we know, obviously Mark Pope and the Wildcats, after seeing Louisville have a great season or a good season and seeing the promise after they had been in the dumps before with Coach Payne, they loaded the fuck up. And the arms race is on within the state of Kentucky. Yeah. Capitalism at its finest. You just see two brands going at it, and I cannot wait for the matchup this season. I'm always reminded of the two people in the old folks' home that were punching each other at like 95 years old and choking out one another over a Louisville, Kentucky basketball game. But Pat Kelsey has brought life back to Louisville, and it was much needed. And look, they bring in Michael Brown, who was a very, very high recruit. This should be very fun to watch. They also went out and got Ryan Conwell from Xavier, Isaac McNeely, no relation to Peter. Remember him from Virginia? Mm-hmm. Adrian Woolley coming in from Kennesaw State, guy balled out with the Owls last year. And let's not forget Kashawn Pryor, who got injured early in the year last year. Ali Khalifa coming in from BYU. They still have Javon Hadley. I mean, guys.
Guards.
Yeah. I mean, how fun is this going to be to watch? I know Chucky Hepburn's gone, right? And Terrence Edwards, but this is must watch to me this year, right? Like I just feel like they're getting their shit together. This is like what seems like the signs are there for a breakthrough. Your thoughts, Mac?
Yeah, I don't even know if their record is going to be as good as the 27-8, but I think that they're set up for success when they get to the NCAA tournament. Their guards are really good. I mean, Conway and McNeely and Woolley are all vets that have played in big games, and then Brown's a highly touted freshman. So Pat Kelsey's an energizer, man. A jolt of energy into this program after that pathetic Kenny Payne era. Louisville's back. The Cards are back. They're going to be a top 15 team. I think the whole year. They're right behind Duke for me.
Yeah, Coach Pat Kelsey upgraded his roster after a tie for second place finish last year, 18-2. And I think it's going to be an improvement. They had the ACC's second best offense and defense, according to KenPom last season. And the Cardinals are surrounding a top 10 freshman recruit in Michael Brown with transfer wings that have size, speed, athleticism. They all can shoot the ball extremely well. I'm talking about Ryan Conwell, Isaac McNeely, Adrian Woolley. You even mentioned Kashawn Pryor, who can step out and shoot a three as well as a big man. I absolutely love this Louisville team. There's depth, experienced upperclassmen, a young, spry head coach he's won big at previous stops. I don't have Louisville winning the ACC regular season, but I have the Cardinals in my preseason Final Four in Indianapolis.
Oh, shit.
You know what's crazy, man, is normally they play the Kentucky matchup, the Governor's Cup or whatever on the hardwood. That's normally a December, like Christmas game. It is November 11th.
Oh, they're doing it early this year.
November 11th at that filthy yum center there. That's really like the first test. They open up with South Carolina State, then Jackson State, and then boom, Kentucky. November 11th. That's a Tuesday, folks. Holy shit.
Did you see Brian Sanchez comment in the chat? Slick Rick behind the Yankees dugout. Talk about always recruiting.
Recruiting some hot ass. That's what I think.
The Louisville way, baby. Yeah, dude. This is I mean, what did Louisville pay for this fucking roster? 10 mil? 15 mil?
Yeah, a lot. I will say
that's what's so great about it for people that cover I try to make sure the listener grasps this. The pissing contest going on in the state of Kentucky is awesome right now.
Oh yeah, they're ponying up.
So fun to watch.
I mean, they better hit some horses at the Derby here, so they can keep ponying up some more.
I will say, like, if you were to make me poke a hole of where this team could struggle, the defense at times could be leaky this year, but they're going to be so fun to watch on offense. Last year they weren't even like too great in transition. This year I think they're going to thrive in it because that's where Kelsey teams were really good in, and Charleston was just on the move. I like the Louisville Cardinals a lot this year. Baseball team in the College World Series last year, basketball team in Final Four this year.
And shout out to their schedule because, I mean, besides, I know early on it was some fluff before that Kentucky game, but after that, you know, they got the Ohio Bobcats, a respectable team in the MAC. And then they have a trip to Cincinnati. They also have a trip to Fayetteville in the ACC SEC Challenge on December 3rd. And they bounce back right after that game against Arkansas. They go to, I think this is at the Filthy Pacers Stadium, but to take on Indiana in what could be a fun one as well. And then they have Penny Hardaway in Memphis, Rick Barnes in Tennessee, at Tennessee, before they start conference play. Very good scheduling in the non-con as opposed to, I think this year, the schedule is a step up. With the ACC being better, but also
the non-con.
The non-con. Anything else you guys want to say about these CADs?
Nope. They're good.
Yep.
All right, folks, I want to tell you the college basketball experience is also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is also a great place to play fantasy pick'em. I'm on some shit tonight for college football with this Sam Houston State, New Mexico State game. You can win up to 500 times the amount of money you enter. Simply pick higher or lower in your favorite player's stats, and boom. All right, they got a ton of different sports too. MLB playoffs going on, NHL, NFL, everything. Look, Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with the promo code TCESGPN. That's our promo code. Once again, TCESGPN over at Underdog Fantasy. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is off to a great start in college football, and obviously college hoops right around the corner. They killed it last year. Shout out to Rhythm for throwing that great party in Vegas. Rhythm has introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model that you build, and you could win $1,000. Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. So download Rhythm. That's RITHMM. Use the promo code SGPN25 and let it ride. All right, we are back.
We got breaking news in college hoops. Billy Gillespie's being forced out at Tarleton.
Wow.
Unreal. September and early October.
Wow.
Coaching news.
Who knows what Gillespie did this time?
I mean, I know, didn't he have he had a heart condition?
Yeah, he had health
Yeah.
issues for a while.
Yeah, he battled back, but
So wait, he's being forced out or his heart is forcing him out?
now it sounds like he's being forced out, according to this tweet from the
Wow.
Hoop. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Interesting. We will get to that one perhaps once more news comes out. Next up, we have the Miami Hurricanes. Jai Lucas, son of John Lucas, legendary basketball coach and player. New head coach of the Canes after coming over from Duke. Obviously, man, it just seems like, it doesn't seem that long ago that Miami was in the Final Four. But, man, after they did that, they just were ass ever since then, despite the talent on the roster somewhat being there. But maybe Jai Lucas is the guy that can do this. I actually think this is one of the more intriguing things in the conference this year. The Florida State one, to me, that's left field. Jai Lucas is one where I'm like, I can see them potentially I could see this potentially working. I'm fascinated by this. Is just my point. He brings in Shelton Henderson, a 4-star. He also brings in Dante Allen, a 4-star, and Travion Maddox, 3 4-stars coming in there. And then going out getting Trey Donaldson from Michigan, True Washington from New Mexico, Malik Renault from Indiana. Ernest Uday from TCU, Marcus Allen from Missouri, and Jordan Key from Georgia. I have no idea if the guy can coach, but I am fascinated by seeing what he can do here. I kind of think the roster's decent. I think they could be a tough out. I just need to see it. Where are you at with this team? And I think they're kind of like must watch early in the season to see what the hell they all have here.
Yeah, I'm higher on this hire than I am on the
Me too,
with Florida
far.
State, because Jai Lucas has been in the college game.
His dad's a coach through and through. I know he was an NBA coach too, but it's like basketball is in his fucking bloods. You know,
Andy hired an experienced staff down there. That was the first thing I was like, who's he going to hire? Because he's going to need older guys around him that have called ball plays before. So he will go through growing pains. Just because he's never called a timeout and he's never ran a practice, and it's a transition. I don't care how good of players you got. You running your own program is different than being the number 2 guy and the suggestion guy. Everybody's got suggestions until they got to actually make the decision. So
is that Mike Tyson talking right there?
Everybody's got to play until they get hit in the fucking mouth.
I like what you did there. That was creative.
That's very coach speak. But
it's the truth. I mean, fuck.
You could tell this guy was under Hugs for a couple of years.
Oh, that's what Frank would always say. He'd be like, I had great suggestions for Hugs, and then I had to make a decision. He's like, oh, fuck. Will you shut the fuck up over there, everybody?
I got the heart of lions, tigers, and bears. All right?
But cap off Miami, I think they'll be up and down. I think they're talented. They got a bunch of high major transfers. I see the chat saying misfits. We'll see if it works. I think they're talented. This is a wild card team.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
I think this team's going to be sneaky because it all just really depends on how Jai Lucas, if he's able to just stay afloat as a head coach, because I think they have a really scrappy defensive backcourt. Trey Donaldson was a very good defensive, like on other people's point guards. He was very good defensively last year for Michigan. True Washington, another really good defensive piece. And I've always liked Ernest Uday's game. I think he's got a little bit more on offense, but he's definitely a good defender. Malik Renew was one of the more reliable pieces in the Indiana front court that just struggled to operate under Mike Woodson.
That's another NBA guy, by the way.
Yeah, yes, it is. So, however, he may or may not fit just in the locker room, as we've got commenters talking about him. But I like the pieces on this roster. They've got some experience, like quite a few upperclassmen. And there's some talented freshmen coming in, and Lucas is a good recruiter as well. So he's going to be aggressive on that trail for not only this year, for the upcoming seasons. So I think this was also a better hire than Locks at Florida State, which is going to be an interesting comparison over the next couple of years. Miami against Florida State should make it pretty fun.
Yeah.
They opened the season against Jordan Mincy, those Jacksonville Dolphins. Watch out. Watch out for those Dolphins.
Upset alert.
They got so they take on Florida. They're in Jacksonville on November 16th. They play the that tournament, the ESPN Events tournament, I think it is. They play BYU in Orlando, and from what I understand, there's a big Mormon population in Orlando, so that could be a tricky spot for them with the hype BYU's getting. But fun to see they get Ole Miss in the ACC SEC Challenge. That game's in Oxford, so I don't really like their chances there. Kind of a light non-con otherwise, though, if I may say so. You got Florida, you got BYU, and you got, I guess, the next game in that tournament, and then Ole Miss. The rest are, local ULM, Southern Miss, North Florida, FIU, Delaware State, Stetson, Bethune, Elon. But that's probably what you need. You need a little runway, right? When you're taking over a program, you've never been a head coach, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
All right, next up, Will Wade and NC State, the Pussy Pack. Well, the Pussy Pack, well, they're not so pussy these days.
They're going to be good.
Yeah. Nice hire. I thought
Our buddy, friend of the show.
I thought when you extended Keats, you meant to keep him long term. Remember how excited I was that they made the Final Four? Because I was like, they're going to give him a 10-year contract.
Yes.
Someone woke up in Raleigh. I don't know what the fuck happened. Now it scares me that they're going to do the same with football this year too. Because I give Doran another 10 years, please. Will Wade was phenomenal at many stops, and most recently McNeese State. Now he comes into Raleigh, North Carolina, and well, Will, I did hear you say fuck ECU at the ECU game. Put us on the schedule, all right? That's all I'll say. Put us on the schedule, all right?
We'll smack
we might be able to put that word into Wade for you.
Yeah. Look, I like Will Wade, but I mean, this was a low blow. Right? This was a low fucking blow. You had offers all throughout the nation.
He's the Signetti of college basketball. He talks so much shit. It's great.
Oh,
And he comes in and instantly gets a top 30 recruit in the nation, and Matt Abel. Also Wilkins, the 4-star, another 4-star, I guess I should say. And then the transfer portal, Trey Holloman, comes in from Michigan State. The big one that everyone was talking about was both Darian Williams and Terrence Arsenault coming in. And then Van Allen Lubin, as NC Nick said, I think that can work. That's a good get by the Pussy Pack there. Then a couple of McNeese guys come over. Breeden Copeland from McNeese come over. Scotty, Abube from Wyoming comes in. Jerry Dang from Florida State comes in. Colt Langdon from Butler comes in. The only person they return is Paul McNeil, who's projected to start, from what I understand. He was a freshman last year, and he was all right as a freshman. God, it's tough. They're going to be pretty good, I think. I think they're a top 3 or 4 team in the conference, guys.
Yes.
Someone pour me a tequila again.
I mean, they got 3 guys that were impact guys on teams in the season or better.
What the hell happened? Yes. You went to the Final Four 2 years ago, right? Like, this was not necessary.
Darian Williams was like the best player on Texas Tech in the Elite 8 team. Arsenault was a role guy, impact role guy, made big plays in that Duke comeback for Houston. And Holloman was the heart and soul of Sparty who went to the Elite 8.
I'm terrified.
Put some respect on JT Toppin, but I agree. Darian Williams.
Yeah, I guess I forgot Toppin. Yeah, but I mean, Darian Williams is kind of the glue guy.
Yeah. Well, he was their best player when Toppin was dealing with injuries pretty much throughout the year.
They're going to be really good.
Dude, the Tar Heels, Hubert Davis and the Tar Heels better watch the fuck out. The Pack are coming, baby. Duke better watch out.
So Will Wade, he feasted on a conference with less resources than he had at McNeese. Nevertheless, he had a top 70 offense in both years with the Pokes. At LSU, he had a top 15 offense in 3 straight years and a top 40 offense in 4 of the 5 seasons with the Tigers. I say all of that because, to me, this roster looks ferocious defensively. Offensively, there's a few. It could be better if we're playing in the ACC, at least in my opinion. Trey Holloman is not really like your scoring point guard. He's like a dog defensively, though. Terrence Arsenault, Darian Williams, all legit shutdown guys on defense. And we saw Arsenault, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, at Houston be a good scorer, but recently he hasn't gotten to that level since like one of his injuries or whatever. But Darian Williams can be that go-to guy for NC State, I do believe. The roster's a little small in size. I think, like I said, Williams, he's going to be that go-to guy. Defense is going to be excellent. Will Wade's outperformed preseason KenPom expectations in 7 straight seasons. He's an excellent coach. This is a top 5 team in the ACC and a slam dunk NCAA tournament team.
I mean, This is going to be fascinating. We just talked about in Kentucky the arms race, in Texas in football the arms race. NC State's a clear cut number 2 in basketball right now, and like I to NC Nick's point, by the way, when I was saying this with the roster, Van Allen Lubin, how does Carolina let him lead for the pack?
Yeah. I love that Will Wade was able to bring some of his McNeese guys for role players with all these high major guys. I mean, Copeland is a big time defender. That's a great piece to have.
Breed's a knockdown shooter.
Clearly, they went all in though in basketball. And that's what I'm saying is like
this is a $10 million roster at least.
That's like that has me convinced that we are on like the precipice.
I can't wait. Can't wait to talk about the next team because you're talking about it, comparing them with teams inside their state of North Carolina. Let's get to the Tar Heels.
Sure. I mean, the arms race is fascinating. This is what makes the sport so great. If you pay attention.
I think NC State's roster is better.
Way better. I don't think it's fucking close. Hubert Davis in North Carolina, and this was an intriguing thing when when the Belichick hire happened in football. I forget which. Forgive me if you're listening to this, which you probably aren't, because we're drinking whiskey and or tequila and having a good time.
Yeah,
and that's almost illegal these days. Some publication talked about the amount of money that came in to bring in Bill Belichick, and how they threw in a ridiculous amount of money to football. They're also they talked about an influx in basketball too, but some old school Carolina people within the administration, I think, were mad that basketball was not getting the most of the money. Like it was going to football,
as they should be. I think.
Well, no, I don't think so, because I think football drives the bus right now.
Yeah, yes, but for Carolina, the program for basketball
should, but not like right now. You're kind of at this pivotal stage where it's like if you
need to hire a real coach.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you kind of. I don't know if that's a shot at Belichick or a shot at Davis. But
hey, I know Belichick's going through his midlife crisis. He's still got 6 Lombardis.
Midlife. What, he got stem cells? He's got another 70 years. My point is, though, is that you're kind of in this point where, like, if NC State's going all in on basketball, we know Duke is really committed to basketball. They're throwing in some into football too, but I don't think the same amount of money they're throwing into football that Carolina is this past year. So it makes for an interesting spot. And I bet you if you see NC State successful, I think we can count on Duke being successful, then it's going to push it's just going to be interesting to watch the battle within the administration and within the alums and boosters of Carolina divvy out that money, especially knowing right now that Belichick's looking like he's fucking struggling. But I find it fucking captivating. And Hubert Davis, I am still, I think all of us share, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I think a lot of people would say this would be another NBA guy, by the way. I know he was on Roy's staff, but he's definitely, I guess you can't just say that for every NBA player because he was actually in college basketball for a while. But either way, he's definitely had his struggles. I know you look at that record, say 101-45, but this is North Carolina we're talking here. Yeah. I'm fascinated by this, and I do think there's a ton of pressure this season for him to deliver because it's more than you even realize. I think if you're just blindly listening to this, NC State will be good this year.
They're a tourney team. They're a 25-win team.
That's what I'm saying. So right now, if you're listening in the preseason, you're thinking, okay, there's some pressure for Hubert to deliver based on last season. You're not even going to realize the pressure is much more intense, in my opinion, because NC State is going to be really good this year. And that makes you the 3rd team in town with potential to be the 4th team in town because Wake is who the fuck knows with Wake, right? So Seth Trimble is back for Carolina. James Brown, great name, is back for Carolina. Zayden High is back for Carolina. They got a 5-star, Caleb Wilson, that everyone's excited about. And they hit the portal, and they hit it heavy. Kion Evans from Medved and Colorado State comes in. Henry Vassar from Arizona comes in. Jonathan Powell, your boy, Moneyline Mac from Dub B, comes in. Jaron Stevenson from Alabama comes in. He showed some flashes there. Jaden Young from Virginia Tech. That's a guy that played major minutes with the Hokies. I'm not that excited about the team, if I'm being honest. I think, okay, you'll probably be in the similar vein of a season ago, like hanging around that bubble. I'm fascinated by this. I know they host Kansas early in the year. I was looking at tickets. Clark, that's another one. What do we got to do? We got to talk to these. We got to talk to these Jayhawk fans. All right, we got to get to that game. But fuck, I just don't know, and I'm very curious your guys' thoughts on this. Mac, what's your opinion of this team?
Yeah, they better make sure Bubba's on that committee again so that they can rig another tourney selection. This is a bubble team. There's a lot of missing pieces on this roster, and 101-45, I guess, kind of looks okay. But we just did Scheyer. He's 87-22. That's what Duke and Carolina should be year in and year out with the resources and history and tradition. So, I like Visar coming over from Arizona. I thought he got better throughout the year. But there's a lot of question marks. This is a big year for Davis, and I kind of think it's more of the same of last year, up and down, inconsistent team.
Yeah, for me, I think it's the most underwhelming roster that Hubert Davis has had at North Carolina. And therefore, my prognostication of how good the Tar Heels are going to be really relies on how well Hubert's going to coach them this year. And it's kind of been all over the place in his tenure. Year one at UNC was an 8 seed, but they played for a national championship. Then they brought that entire team back, and they missed the NCAA tournament.
Preseason,
then they were a 1 seed, and they lost in the Sweet 16. And last year, they were an 11 seed playing team that probably shouldn't have been in the NCAA tournament to begin with. So I have no idea what – there's a wide range of outcomes that Hubert Davis could give us this year. I like the Henry Vasar get from Arizona. You can tell that North Carolina, what money they did have, went to 2 or 3 pieces on this team. Vasar got a lot of it because last year a lot of Tar Heel faithful were like, hey, we've had so many good bigs in our history as a basketball program. Last year they were looking at Van Allen Lubin. They weren't very happy. They go out and get Vasar, and then Van Allen Lubin leaves in the portal. And then Caleb Wilson is the other kid, the 5-star that's playing in the front court, going to be out there for 35 minutes. He's going to be a star. And Kyan Evans coming in from Colorado State wasn't much of a scorer, but he can shoot it. Seth Trimble last year had a good October, November, and then just kind of fell off later in the year. And they've got a couple other freshmen that they're going to rely on to fill in some roles here. To me, I haven't seen the consistency from Hubert Davis to put him in the top 3 in this conference. So I can't.
I will say this. The schedule is not brutal. Okay, they host Kansas, but if Kansas isn't what Kansas has been recently, and obviously Bill Self and his health has been a big concern, who knows what, that's winnable in Chapel Hill. At the Dean Dome or whatever, but then they get a bunch of nobodies. Then they go to Fort Myers. They take on the Bonnies, and then after that they get Michigan State and Fort Myers on Thanksgiving, right? That is achievable. Like they could be pretty solid, but like those are all winnable games. Then they hit a rough patch as they go to Rupp on December 2nd. That'll be a loss. Then they host Georgetown. I know, Clark, we got to get to that one on December 7th. And then they get Ohio State in Atlanta for the CBS State Farm shit. You know what I mean? But we know then, though, the big one on December 22nd when they lose to East Carolina in their own stadium. So wait a second. Are we talking basketball? On the 22nd, you're going to host East Carolina, so there's going to be no students there? You're telling me?
And may the Schwartz be with you.
That means Dundee's gonna be in the front row of the student section, no shirt,
dressed like
chest
Kris
painted.
Kringle, baby. Dressed like Kris Kringle. I'll be doing a dance, a purple Kris Kringle. Guys, that schedule's kind of light though, right? I mean, I know you got ECU at Rupp, but
it's light because you know how pivotal this year is. You need to.
They knew what team they had
those
coming
wins.
back. Yeah, they knew what team they had coming back.
Yeah. Godspeed. All right.
I don't even think I'm going to have them in my top 5.
Well,
I've got them in the top 5 just because they've got some talent there. But
let's talk about Notre Dame and Micah Shrewsberry. But didn't he get all pissed and hit his fucking?
Yeah.
You know, some say that was rigged, right? Knowing Notre Dame and seeing what they did with Rudy. Ever heard Joe Montana talk about Rudy?
Yes.
He's like, no, he was actually kind of a little bitch. He's like, yeah, none of that shit was true. He was just a little bitch that actually the whole team hated him. We really hated him. I guess they kind of depicted that in the movie, but Micah Shrewsberry, 65 and 69. He's getting, I don't want to say they're getting worse every year because obviously last year they had more wins than the previous year, but not by much. Am I crazy to think 23-24 they were more chippy despite being 13-20 than last year?
No.
There was just a lot of disconnect. So many they never had their full roster healthy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Burton missed a lot of time. Aloko missed a lot of time, and then Shrewsberry missed the most important month of the year for them in the tournament. So, yeah, they never really got going, unfortunately.
Well, the good news is what Marcus Burton's back because my whole season was fucked with that, and they also brought in 4-star Jalen Harrelson as well as look Braden Shrewsberry, coach's son, back. He averaged 14 points a game last season. How do I pronounce the forward there? Keba
Niji.
Yeah, and then Sir Muhammad, great fucking name.
Keba followed him from Penn State, so he's kind of been with Shrews.
They got a lot coming back.
They do have a lot. This has got to be the most in the conference, probably, right?
Stanford.
It's top 2.
Well, they went out and got Carson Talt from Northern Arizona. Our boys, remember those bastards at Northern Arizona? They could send me all the apology videos they want. The bridge has been burned. All right. They also brought in an NAIA transfer from Madonna.
That's where my sister went to school.
Take that, Sean Penn.
My house.
Hilarious.
Like a virgin. Matthew McLean comes in. No chance he ever steps on the court.
McClellan, I think.
It's not important.
No,
look, the other 4 stars coming in are Ryder Frost. I know people are mad about the events. The people were throwing beers and shit. It's okay, Ryder Frost. Tommy Anaheim and Brady Kohler. They're getting these 4 stars.
They're recruiting really well.
Well, they got that Illuminati money, man.
Last year, this year, their recruiting classes have been really good. So that's a fun thing about Notre Dame. I don't know if that's going to translate into anything here, but
son of a bitch.
Shrewsberry kind of runs the program like old school, man. He doesn't really use the portal that much. He develops guys.
He's a Purdue guy, man.
Yeah, he's a painter guy. I like Notre Dame this year. I know we said it last year, but
I'm going into.
I think they could fuck around and be on the bubble this year and take a step. So yeah, give me the Irish here being better. Maybe even above 500 in the ACC. I like Shrewsberry as a coach. I think he's a good coach overall.
I mean, what are we doing? Attempted a 56-yard field goal at Sam Houston State.
Oh my god!
I like this team too. I think I'm going to take a chance as well. Like we mentioned it. A lot of returners from last year in this system that I think is really friendly to youth because they have quite a bit of inexperienced sophomores and freshmen from those 2 classes that I was talking about. They're going to play some big roles on this team. But really, you talked about it, Mac. Like in that Painter system, it's just a big man and 4 shooters, and that's how Shrewsbury's teams have been at Penn State and here at Notre Dame so far.
Yep.
They've got a really fun dynamic backcourt duo in Marcus Burton and Braden Shrewsbury that are going to stuff the stat sheet a whole lot. And then I like Jalen Harrelson as well. He's a good piece. Got plenty of length, can shoot it well. He's got a little bit of everything, and I think it fits in with Notre Dame and what they're trying to do. So, yeah, it really depends on kind of the youth as their depth and how that comes along, because I got them right in the middle of the pack in the ACC as well, which means that they're going to be fighting for an NCAA tournament appearance in March too. So,
I got them higher up than you guys, or than you at least. But let's talk about these Pitt Panthers, Noah and Mac. Go get a cup of tea. All right.
Last place.
Bienick. They could be a surprise team this year.
Oh, I'm not there. I'm not saying that. No.
They could be a surprise team. I kind of like these Iowa State transfers they brought in. You know? How do I pronounce the one guy's name? I know Deshaun Jackson's the other, but Indris Saltis.
Good try.
Yeah. You're not with me here?
Indrusitis, probably.
Yeah, I took 2 Indrusitis right before the show. I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. They also got, don't sleep on Papa Amadou Kante. You're not with me here.
No.
They could be a sleeper.
I honestly was not high on Pitt last year either. I've been very realistic about the Panthers.
This is a clear tournament team. Max back, Bienick. This is a clear tournament team. The way I see it, Final Four is a possibility because Brandon Cummings is back. He averaged 16 points a game. He got 16 minutes a game, 6 points a game. And he's due for a breakthrough season. You go out and they bring in these Iowa State transfers. Max always saying the Big 12 is the best. So, I mean, getting those 2 Iowa State guys, I think, is a big fucking addition to this team. And then they get these Aussie guys, all right? This is Pick Dundee you're talking to. That's a great fucking thing there. Then you don't forget the 4-star, Amari Witherspoon, all right? No relation to John. But then mixed with DeMarco Minor coming back from Oregon State. Oregon State, pretty much the Big 12 wanted them. They said, fuck you to the Big 12. That's the story on the DL. And then you have Barry Dunning from South Alabama, who was a beast for them, 33 minutes a game, 15 points a game, 7 rebounds. He's going to be a clear reason why they beat West Virginia. And look, I think Pitt is a very good team this year, and I think that Pitt is capable of being a team deep into March that we could see, especially knowing that they got that Big 12 lineage in there. Okay, that we got that out. Me and Bienick agree with everything. Mac, your thoughts on Pitt this year? Okay, next up, we have SMU. Okay, but no, give your opinion on Pitt and why you think the Big 12 is the best conference. So if the Big 12 is the best conference, Pitt got 2 of their best players, and they should be very good, right?
Yeah, two of the role guys in the Big 12. They'll be around 500. Capel's teams are soft.
They did try to adjust that. I will.
Yeah, they could try.
That's what I had prepared in my notes. Anyways, they're trying to be tougher, going out and getting those Iowa State guys. And DeMarco Minor is a solid point guard who can distribute it and also can drive and is feisty on defense. They're trying to be tough. I don't know if that's going to work because that has not been the Capel identity.
Do you trust Capel?
One of the better coaches in college basketball is part of.
Did you legitimately leave, Mac? I wasn't looking at our screen. I was looking at another page.
Yeah, I went to go get a beer while he's.
Okay, so I don't trust Capel with trying to change the identity of what's worked.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
They lost a lot last year.
You picked them to go to the fucking Sweet 16, Mac, while you were gone.
Oh, bullshit.
He's from Pitt. He claims Pittsburgh's the second city. He's like, goddamn, Barry Bonds, my favorite baseball player ever. Even though he wasn't on the Pirates when fucking.
I wasn't even alive when Barry Bonds is on the fucking.
He says he's like Barry Bonds, greatest fucking baseball player of all time, and I was like, no, aren't you 22 years old?
Terry Bradshaw.
He's like, Bobby Bonilla is so good at baseball, he's still getting paid.
This team's an NIT team. They ain't gonna make it. They're not good enough. And I don't trust Capel to elevate this team. They've had better rosters in the past. So yeah, eat shit, Pitt. They'll miss the tournament again. and it'll be great. And I
I've
can't
got
wait to
Pitt-
shit on them.
I've got a Pitt baseball jersey in the background right
Take
here,
that shit off.
and they're finishing in the bottom half. This to me is a desperate attempt to try to, I don't know, get back on the right side of whoever's got them on the hot seat in the Pittsburgh athletic department, because this is a clear, desperate try to change identity. Because in Capel's offensive systems, they love to just chuck threes, and you don't have a single good shooter on this team this year. So I struggle to see where it's going to work. I like DeMarco Minor. I think Deshaun Jackson's not bad from Iowa State. He's going to be a good post presence for Pitt, but that's not their game. And I don't know. I have them in the bottom half. It's a team that I have to see before I really jump on the train.
They're losing November 13th in Morgantown.
I was about to say, keep talking, because I was doing the math on his record against West Virginia.
What is he, 2-4?
You might be right. Hold on, he came in 18 though, so I think that did they play in COVID? Probably not, right?
No, they canceled on us because they knew we were going to be a top 10 team, and they said they had COVID, so they canceled the game. Those fucking soft asses. He never beat Hugs. He never came close to beating Hugs. His largest victory was like 18 points. Just bullied the shit out of them.
0-3 in his first, I can tell you that. Yeah. So to 21, they had yet to get one. 22, is that the changing of the guard, perhaps?
Yeah, when Hugs got the DUI in Pittsburgh.
No, he lost that year too.
Yeah.
He's 0-4 so far in me doing this exercise.
He's won the last two since Hugs got the DUI. That's why they pulled him over. We know the real reason why Hugs got busted at the Taylor Swift. Oh,
I know how this works.
They couldn't beat him, so they had to bring him down.
That's what I'm saying. All DUIs are fake, right?
Where the scene of the crime was? Because
it's right
that
by
was
PNC.
That was my college stomping grounds. So.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you think he was at like a Burger King in like Sheboygan, Wisconsin?
He went on the radio the week before. The Swifties were offended. It was at a Swiftie concert. Yeah. The Swifties and the Eat Shit Pitt fans all took him down together. I'm onto it. He probably wasn't even that intoxicated.
Well, there's only 27 beer cans in the back, but that way, look, there was two people in that car.
Yeah, it might have been me from the previous week.
That's true. That's true. Smart to drive around with it, though. Look, I've said this before, though, that if the law really cared about DUIs, they would be breathalyzing after stadium events. Now, I don't want them to do that, but I'm just saying if they really cared. I've always thought that was an interesting fight.
I liked Coach Gundy's statements on the matter.
Yeah. No, that was accurate. Like, we've all had 2 or 3 beers before and drove. Everyone wanted to fry the guy after that, but that was probably because he wore that shirt on that fishing expo.
Gundy would have said he's not that intoxicated.
Hey, Huggins is a great guy, he said. Right?
Yeah, it's only a short drive back to Morgantown.
And he thought he was in Ohio. Those East Coast states all run into each other.
Yeah, the borders are all very
same fucking shit states.
Yeah, Ohio, Pittsburgh, and West Virginia borders are all very, very close.
Yeah, what's Borders is a bookstore too. Look, Rob Donaldson. Right, this is my second conversation about DUIs. I'm putting bad energy out into the universe, but for me, not for anybody else. But I did check out our DFS show. Wow, what a horrible pass! Because we just talked about basically DUIs and how to solve the planet's problems. I feel like we've done a decent job of doing that. Jeff Capel, though, I actually am pretty excited about this Pitt team. I think this Pitt team is a dangerous team this year. Mac, what day did you say they play the
13? What team are you looking at?
I mean, both can't be right. You told me before that Iowa State runs such a good program. These players coming in, are they going to be piles of shit? Because if the program was so good,
the one guy played 5 minutes a game at Iowa State.
But if the program's that good, those 5 minutes, he should be amazing in the ACC, right?
If you leave Otzelberger for Capel, I question your judgment.
I'm just wondering what's going on. Like, I'm just listening to you over the years. Yeah, we did do a deep dive on DUI checkpoints and how they're all fake. But anyway, next up we got SMU, Andy Enfield. Am I crazy, or does he look like Chinese right here?
I know. I put that picture.
In this photo,
there.
He looks.
Is that him?
Who'd you take? This guy was a villain in Big Trouble in Little China, wasn't he?
It must have been a tough transition from USC to SMU.
What the hell happened in LA? You started you know what? He was hanging out in K-Town, started singing the fucking Korean pop shit, karaoke style. I understand what happened there. Oh, you must meet Andy Enfield. Look, I actually thought this hire was amazing. I thought they had a short leash with Lanier, but I thought this hire was one that could really, really uplift their basketball program. He's 285 and 186 all time. I know last year, maybe I might have been, I can't remember. Noah, you listened to our preview, but
didn't listen to the entire thing, just the prediction.
He's a good coach, man.
He is a good coach, so I'm kind of like just. Without even really diving into the roster, I just feel like blindly I want to say, okay, year 2, they're going to be a lot better.
I like the roster. It's experienced. They've got a couple of seniors in the projected starting 5. And then there's like an influx of youth on the bench that are a lot of freshmen that will take some time. But you've got really good shooting here.
Well, let's talk about that some because Kevin Miller, BJ Edwards, both back. I know, Boopy. But Jaden Toombs, a 4-star coming in, Nigel Wells, Jermaine O'Neal Jr. Oh, yes. Now we're talking. And they bring in some transfers. They go out to these Jacksonville Dolphins. Or no, I'm sorry, Jacksonville State.
Gamecocks.
Yeah, to bring in Pierre. Yeah, 22 points a game there in the CUSA. And then Sam Walters, no relation to Rex, coming in from Michigan. Bienick, I know you're familiar with him. And then Corey Washington from Wichita State. But, man, these recruits they're doing, because they're paying major C notes down there in Dallas. Why do I feel like this is going to be like this, I think, is the real surprise team this year?
Well, you're banking on Andy Enfield. Even
if he is Asian these days.
Yeah, I mean, 7 out of his last 9 years at SMU or USC, he won 20-plus games. And last year he comes in, wins 24 right away. I think it's a good roster, too. I think they're talented. I think they'll be fast in transition. And, yeah, this could be a tournament team.
Yeah, in the last 5 years, he's had 3 top 50 offenses. I love Boopy Miller and BJ Edwards in the backcourt. Funny, great names, but also those guys can shoot. Pierre Jr., I think his game's going to translate. He's got some length on the wing. Took 7.5 threes per game last year at a 38% clip. And then Walters, he kind of got phased out and put onto the Michigan bench for defensive reasons. But, I mean, he was behind Danny Wolf and Vlad, and there was just so much size on that team. He was just kind of like playing in the first half of the game just to get some burn. And then it was quite easy to see, like, hey, he's kind of on the second half of the bench. But I like him. He was money from deep when he got the ball in his hands, and he only played 12.5 minutes a game last year. Took 3 threes per game. When they put him on the floor, they made it a point to get up to him and shoot, and he hit him at 35%. And I like that they're surrounding all these shooters by just a 7'2" big man down low and say, hey, guard the rim, and then we'll get it to you, and you can do some dunky dunks, and then, you got some highlights. But this team is going to be able to shoot. Defense, we'll see. But I like the SMU roster this year. I definitely have them in the top half. I don't even know if that's necessarily a surprise. Last year they had a top 5 offense in the ACC. They finished 13-7 in the top 5 of the standings as well. So, yeah.
I mean, guys, you telling me you don't see it a little bit?
Well, while you were giving your breakdown, Colby was just comparing this guy to fucking.
It's the villain in Big Trouble in Little China. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're spot on, but similar skin complexion going on. Andy Enfield was at CSA, man. You know, look, I love all Asians. I'm just saying, like, you know, something happened here when he was in LA. Something happened.
Too many rubs and tugs at the parlor.
Is this guy with the fucking needle in his head? Yeah, it's like, what was worse, Sammy Sosa going whiteface or Andy in LA that long? But look, Andy, I don't give a shit what complexion you are. You can coach basketball, brother. You can fucking you can go trans. I don't give a fuck, right? You can coach basketball, and I believe that SMU is going to be a legit team this year. So let's go.
Cosign.
Yeah, yeah. And Rob Donaldson. Another one is Remo Williams. Remo, actually, you know what? Now that we're here, guys, that we're on this journey, Remo Williams. Chinese guy. Hollywood was so racist back in the day. They would like, no, we're not hiring some fucking Asian guy. All right, let them continue the railroads. Right, we're gonna put a white guy. I mean, look at this guy here, just fucking ridiculous. Hang on, 1 second. Hollywood was so racist back in the day, and that anyone that thinks like when they watch like. You hang out with some people, they'll be like, oh, they keep throwing fucking other ethnicities in these commercials too much. It's like, no, that's because you were white and you watched only white guys in commercials eating fucking Fig Newtons forever. Well, as evidence here in the Remo Williams classic, that was also around the same time as Big Trouble Little China. Hang on, let me blow it up a little bit. This is fake. This is all fake, right? This is how racist Hollywood was back in the day, and it's pretty amazing that they could get away with it at the time. If I'm being honest, you telling me that's a real Asian? No, that's John Cusack. All right, like that is fucking John Cusack right there. You kidding me? I mean, but Andy Enfield, you know, look, what do I care, buddy? Be you, all right? Be you. All over SMU next year. Oh, Stanford, Kyle Smith.
This is a good coach.
A very good coach, as you saw what he did at Washington State. And all right, I'm curious. Returning production. This is a guy that also doesn't believe in the portal much. You saw it back at his time in Pullman. And they got two guys in the transfer. One guy from Claremont Mud Scripps. I repeat, they brought in a transfer from Claremont Mud Scripps. You hear that, Muddy? You hear that? They got one of your boys.
C3.
AJ Rohasi. They also brought in D2 transfer from Cal State Dominguez. I am familiar with them. Bring back your football program, you pussies. All right. Jeremy Dent Smith coming in there. And then their whole team returns. I'm talking Benny Geeler, Donovan Young, Ryan Agarwal, Chisholm Akpara, Aiden, Kaman, is it? I forget. Evan Stinson, no relation to Lemuel. Just a slew of returning productions, even further on the bench with Batson and Torre and Thompson. All right. Is this the breakthrough season? I just don't know how to value these.
Last year they were 11-9, so like
yeah,
they were good last year.
The floor is always high with Kyle Smith, and they did a good job of protecting home court out when everybody had to come out west. So, I think that this is a middle of the pack team once again. I don't think that they're as talented as that top 5, top 6, but Kyle Smith will get them to guard. They'll be efficient and they'll play hard and we know what we're getting, man. The bottom will never fall out with Kyle Smith unless they have a super set of injuries.
Yeah, the roster on paper is not sexy, and honestly, Kyle Smith rosters, come to think of it, like they're never sexy. San Francisco, Washington State, Stanford, hell, even Columbia. This guy, all he's done is just outperform expectations. I like the addition on KenPom now. You can see where they were rated in the preseason and where they finished. This guy in his 10-plus year career coaching. He's only underperformed in 2 seasons. He's overperformed expectations in 7 straight. Just this last year, not one of the best rosters on paper. A lot of people not projecting them to have an above 500 record in the ACC. But there you go. They are right there, 11-9 in the ACC last year. The offense was rated 10th in the conference, and the defense was right in the middle of the pack as well. He's just a really solid coach that's going to get the most out of the team. They bring back the most minutes by percentage in the entire conference. It's a high floor. You have to put them at least in the middle, maybe even the top half of the conference. If you are trying to get shit right in the preseason of college basketball, this team is going to be better than a lot of people think.
Do you think like Tim Legler's mom might have got around?
Why, you think that looks like
he's got a little Legler vibe to him, right?
You say Kyle Smith's dad?
I mean, look, I'm just saying. You see a
Are
little
they like
bit.
the same age?
You see a little bit. I mean, you telling me? Am I off here? I mean, he Stanford himself up a little bit, but I'm just saying, you telling me there's not a little bit there?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit? No. It's better with the Big Trouble Little China? Okay. All right. I know when to stop comparing. Look, I tend to think, too, to me, the hardest evaluation is within this conference is Cal and Stanford, just because we have the travel is ridiculous. So it's very hard to get a gauge. Like, I think this might be Stanford's best team in years. Yeah. But since we don't really have the data to understand how bad this travel shit is, it's hard to really value them. I tend to think they're upper half ACC, but I don't know.
Yeah, Stanford lost just 1 conference home game last year, but they only won 2 road games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a fucking hard trip. You've seen it we've seen this in the NBA, the NFL, and that's as luxury jets as you can fucking get. So yeah, I don't know. I do still think they'll end up in the upper half of the ACC. Adrian Autry at Syracuse. I was told this is the year.
God, it's got to be.
I was told this is the year last year. Remember, I was shitting on him, and I had Syracuse fans jumping in my DMs telling me I'm a pile of shit. Got to give him time. All right. And by the way, rest in peace to the great Lawrence Moten. A huge fan of Lawrence Moten as a kid out of Washington, D.C., where I grew up and was born. I don't know what happened there, but it's terribly tragic. Former, played for the Vancouver Grizzlies back in the day. Terrible news out of Syracuse, New York. I want to wish him and his family the best. I think there's a GoFundMe also that I shared from our TCE account for the Moten family. Much love to them. Love and condolences to them. And the Syracuse family, really. But Adrian Autry is in a pivotal year. You just wonder. Now, J.J. Starling is back. That's it right there. That's very
Donnie
exciting
Freeman,
news. I know.
He had a really good freshman year.
Yeah. Starling was like, okay. Donnie Freeman coming back is big too. They brought in a bunch of 4-stars. The kid from Australia, Luke Fettel, Sadiq White, Kyan Anthony. Then they go out in the portal. They bring in George from Georgia Tech, which I believe Damon Stoudemire hated to see him leave personally. Nate Kings from Oregon State comes in with Wayne going to go take a tinkle. William Kyle III from UCLA coming in. Tyler Betsy from Cincinnati. Another Georgia Tech transfer and Soray, Abreem Soray. Bryce Zephyr from Montana State. That one, I don't.
It's a common name. You kind of flew through it. Kyan Anthony is the son of Carmelo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who played at Syracuse.
Yes. But you're talking about a 1 year, like he doesn't have he doesn't have more than a year here, right? Autry, I'm talking.
I think he's got to get to the tournament. I don't think you can miss.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying so Anthony could be elsewhere next year.
or he could be playing for Jerry Mack if Jerry Mack wins Indiana, like we think.
I've got Sienna winning the match.
Yeah. A lot of heat on Altry here, man, with Jerry Mack just down the road doing a good job in his first year. We know how special Jerry Mack is at Syracuse. So and Jerry Mack and Carmelo were teammates on the national championship team. So I think this team is improved. I think they'll split the difference of his 2 years. I think they're closer to a 17-18 win team, but I don't think that they're going to get – I don't think they have enough to get to the dance and crack into the top 5 in this league.
Yeah, quite frankly, they weren't good enough last year because Altry doesn't coach the zone like Boeheim does. That zone was butter soft.
Why? How is that? I mean, he was at Syracuse from 11 to 23 before being a head coach.
They tried to go away from it. They tried to go away from it, and then they went back to it.
I mean, he doesn't coach it as well, so they tried to play man, didn't work. And they finished 15th defensively in the ACC last year. They just didn't have an identity on that side of the floor last year.
I don't know why they went away from the zone. It's like Wisconsin in football. It's like you won all those games for all those years with the zone. Why not keep the zone? I know it's not sexy, but it's hard. It's hard to play against that zone in that football stadium.
Here's my thing. I love it when someone's at your own. He is Syracuse. He went there. He was part of Boeheim. I want him to succeed. I just don't think it's going to happen. Now, maybe if Jerry Mack comes, but I'm saying I want this to work. But I'm based on what I've seen, I can't get hyped behind this, but I want it to work.
Yeah, and I'm personally not like a JJ Starling guy. For how many years he's been in college basketball now, he just kind of seems like a net neutral, like a really solo player, if that makes sense. Last year, he shot 5.5 threes a game at a 27% clip. I'm a big fan of Nathan George, though, who comes in. He may be the point guard. I'm not quite sure. Comes in from Georgia Tech. He put up 12.5 points per game, 4.5 boards, averaged 6.5 assists. I think that's a really good piece. And Donnie Freeman last year as a freshman was really good, and I think there's some reason to believe he's going to take a step up here as well. But yeah, I'm not extremely high on this roster, necessarily taking a step up in performance compared to last year.
Yeah, I mean, where do you guys? I mean, I know we got to give away our rankings in a second, but
they're young. I've got them in the bottom half.
I think I do too. Next up, we got Ryan Odom, son of Dave Odom, at Virginia. I mean, if you don't know the history of Dave Odom, he was at Virginia in the Ralph Sampson era. I think he was the guy that actually recruited Ralph Sampson, if memory serves me correct. So the shoe fucking fits, and obviously he's been phenomenal going back to his UMBC days. It's almost tragic that he's at Virginia.
He beat Virginia.
That's what I'm saying. In that regard, it's almost tragic that he's there. Should be at Maryland, and they should be taking Virginia, but they decided to be little bitches and leave the conference. And they're going to make a bunch of money in doing it. But they got no soul, all right? They got no fucking soul, Maryland does. I'm excited about this hire. I think they hit the nail on the head, personally. I mean, it's going to be completely different than the Tony Bennett. I'm hoping Tony Bennett comes. I saw his birthday was, the other day. So someone was sharing that shit. He needs to get back into coaching. Come on. Just because the portal's going crazy.
He hates it.
I know.
Should go coach D. He should coach like D3.
No, he should coach at academies.
Yeah, he could do that. He
That's
could
what I'm saying.
Navy. Navy's right down the road.
There you go. You got that there. And don't forget, you were in the NBA, Tony Bennett. All right? You left fucking New Zealand to join the Charlotte Hornets, didn't you, you crazy bastard? But Ryan Odom, I do think this high. Now, the question is how fast can it work? Virginia, you see it in football. They're throwing money into athletics again. Oh, my God, we can rejoice. He hit the portal, brought in Dallin Hall there from BYU, Jakari White from North Dakota State, Malik Thomas from San Francisco, Devin Tillis from Irvine, Sam Lewis from Toledo, Uganda Unyenso from Kansas State, Martin whoever from VCU coming in. Carrier, I think it is. Carrier, I think it is. Drink that wine too. But they return nobody.
Yeah, it's a new team.
In fact, you know, the more I think about it, Ryan Odom, he did leave me a voicemail.
And you know what? I'm jacked about another opportunity. I'm like, let's go. Now, I met with the team. There is no team.
How fast can they make it work, man? How fast can they make it work? I'm going to say middle of the pack.
I think I'm higher on them. I liked his first year at VCU. He had to replace that whole team, and they finished with 24 wins. And then the next year they jumped up and won, 28. So I think that this team is going to be a top 5 team in this league. I like the pieces that they brought in, really good mid-major players, and then Dylan Hall, the senior leader from BYU. So I think the Wahoos are back in the NCAA tournament year 1 of Ryan Odom.
Yeah, wow. I got questions about the front court though. It's young, but this is what I really like, and I ultimately agree with Mac. This is my prediction. I don't think they're going to have like your standard big man this year. I think they may go 5-out shooters because so many of these transfers come from successful winning programs. Dallin Hall, BYU, Jakari White, North Dakota State last year, who was really good. Malik Thomas from San Francisco, Devin Tillis from UC Irvine, Sam Lewis from Toledo, all 5 winning mid-major programs that I think are going to step in and be able to fill in the role for Odom of, hey, you guys have length, play good perimeter defense, and hit your threes. And I think that's a really high floor for this group. But yeah, young front court. I don't know how these pieces are going to fit necessarily, so we'll see what happens here with DeRitter and Grunlow, but and also Onyenso, who comes in from Kansas State, who didn't play a whole lot for the Wildcats. So I don't know how that's all going to work out, but I'm a fan of all the wings and Dallin Hall running the show. So.
All right, next up, we got 2 left. Let's talk about Mike Young. God damn it. I've seen that dude a million times before he was a basketball coach. This guy, I'm telling you, he was breaking down numbers. This guy, look at that face and tell me he wasn't doing some shady business, all right, with the city council, with the city council or something. That's what I'm saying. Like, you look at that face, you know something. I like Mike Young a lot, though, man. I saw a great video of all of his players honoring him with his 400th win throughout his career. It's very heartfelt, very awesome. It's everything that's right about college hoops. It came out a while ago, but if you could find it, it's really cool, man, because you see the impact that he has that any coach can have. Any coach that cares about their players can have on someone's life, and it made me I always liked Mike Young, but I always thought at the same time that Virginia Tech is trying to, unless they throw money in there, he's basically running a Wofford program at Virginia Tech, and that's not working. And I don't mean that as a shot at you, Mike. I think you're a phenomenal basketball coach. I think you know basketball through and through. But I also think you got to get better athletes if you want to be good.
Well, this year I think they
got the 5-star kid from like Europe, right?
Yeah. They spent all their money on this Neo kid that I think he's going to run the show and be pretty good.
Well, that's why I'm fascinated about this, man. And I like watching that video where, like, honestly, if you haven't seen this video, it's like a 15-minute video they did. And it was like 500 fucking players, dude. It was like honestly, not, but they care greatly about Mike Young, which tells you something. I mean, it tells you that the guy's probably a great fucking guy who cares about his players.
He's a really respected dude in the industry. Yeah. And he's a good coach, really good X's and O's. But to your point, he's running a program like Wofford, and the portal era doesn't really fit Mike Young. Mike Young likes to get guys, develop them, and graduate them.
He clearly cares about, like, judging by that video, he cares about them later in life. I mean, not to say that the other guys don't. But clearly, from what I can see, is like this is someone that is invested in human beings. He's not invested necessarily in basketball. That's his avenue, but he's invested in human beings. And that's a difference. There's a difference there. And unfortunately, I think the coaches at the very top of the sport, more times than not, are not invested in human beings. They're invested in basketball, which, maybe there's a fine line to doing it, and you can achieve both. It's rare, but it happens from time to time, and maybe this can be the one. But anyway, Jaden Shutt is back. Lawal is back at the forward spot. Tyler Johnson is back. Ben Hammond is back. They bring in Nikoslis, yeah, Neo from the Matrix. What does Keanu Reeves do? Whoa, oh, cool. Great movie, but hilarious actor. Anyway, they bring in 2 4-stars, Christian Gerdak and Sincere Jones, as well as Brett Freeman, a freshman they were excited about, and Solomon Davis from DeMatha, representing same high school my pops went to. Guys, I think he has 2 years, not 1. I could be talking out of my ass, but I believe he's going to have 2 years. So can he make this work super fast?
I'm skeptical. I think that they'll be better than that 13 and 19. I could see them popping up and winning 17, 18 games, being chippy at home and at Castle. But I just think that the league has gotten better. I feel like they missed their window.
Hang on though, at Cassell or Castle Coliseum, whatever the fuck it is, no one showed up last year. That was concerning.
Yeah, but I do think that this kid has kind of rejuvenated some excitement in the basketball program.
Okay.
There's some hype surrounding him. So
yeah, I'm hoping, man. I honestly, if you told me one I could root for the entire conference, I think Mike Young would be the one that I would like to see, have a kick-ass year.
Plus, you talk about it, like football season hasn't gone great so far. They're going to transition a lot of their commitment to that basketball year. It better be good, right?
I will say he did finish tied for 9th last year still, and then the year before that tied for 8th. So they haven't been.
And they were
horrible.
not. They were not a good roster last year.
They were still in spots. You remember they basically had they were in a spot to win a game, and they basically had the steal by Bird over to Dennis Johnson play. It was like, God damn it, they couldn't inbound the basket. They lost some games that were really tough a season ago.
Was it SMU?
It might have been. It might have been, if memory serves me correct. Yeah. I mean, but look, I'm going to say they're a little bit ahead of schedule. I trust Mike Young here. All right, let's go.
Yeah. The roster actually, to me, looks pretty good. They've got a lot of shooters, a lot of people that can.
Fans need to show up, though.
Yeah.
It was Louisville at home, the game.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of length in the rotation here. The depth is pretty young. There's a lot of freshmen on the roster. But you look at their potential 5 defensively in Amani Hansberry. He shot 4 threes a game with West Virginia last year. So this is another team that's going to play pretty out offensively, and they're going to let Neo kind of do his thing and run the show. He's a 6'9" ball handler who, and he might be like a Yegor Demon of BYU from last year.
I'm with Rob, though. The fans have to show up because that was once an intimidating environment. And if it's not.
I'm not nervous about that this year with this kid and this team. I think there's a little bit of buzz. I think there's a little bit of hype with this team this year that they'll be excited to show up. I'm not necessarily worried about it.
I'm a little bit worried about it. The grade point average has gone up. More nerds have gotten into Blacksburg.
Hilarious.
You know what I mean? But I'm still going to say I think they're going to overachieve. But that's what I'm nervous about is that. So, all right. Next up, we got Steve Forbes. I've been rooting for Steve for a long time, man. I can't believe he's still here, but he keeps doing winning seasons, but they do exactly the same every fucking year. You get very close to that moment. You almost have that signature win that makes you think they're in. And then they eat complete shit from there on out. How do you avoid that? I don't know. But Wake Forest and Steve Forbes, look, they return not a lot of production. Just 4 players that played for them a year ago. Juke Harris, Trevon Spillers, Omaha, was it
Baloo?
Yeah, Baloo. Marcus Marion, who didn't play last year, but he was with the program. And then they went out in the portal. And I will say this, did he learn something, Mac? Because he would always bring in guys from the mid-major ranks previously. Now, for the most part, short of Cooper Schwiegert from Valpo coming in and Sebastian Akins, who's projected to be on the bench, they went out and got some Power 5 transfers, Miles Colvin, Nate Colmezzi, Makai Mason. Is there any validity to the fact that, like, okay, he thought, man, I'm at this level. I've tried for years. I've brought in East Tennessee State guys, Chattanooga guys.
Yeah.
This gap is too big, and maybe I need to focus on some P5 guys, or am I just full of shit?
Maybe he always had like one really good guard.
You got the kid from Georgia,
Gonzaga, Georgia, Florida.
Sure, but I feel like there was always like 5 other like mid-major transfers with him.
He had a lot of guys coming back over the previous years, and I think if you're Wake, you just missed your window. The ACC was horrible the last couple of years, and they were always knocking on the door 4th or 5th, but we thought they were a top 3 team. Now I kind of think that they're maybe not as good as they were the last 2 years, but the league is better. So I got Wake in the middle of the pack. I like Forbes. I think Forbes is a good guy. But I just think they can't get over the hump.
Yeah, I mean, Forbes likes taking chances on post-hype sleepers, especially the guards. Like Miles Colvin's that candidate from Purdue. Like this was a big guard recruit that just wasn't able to crack the rotation consistently because they've got Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer. So open him up for a little bit more run time instead of just 18 minutes a game. And who knows what he's going to be able to bring you. But Nate Calmese ran the show at Washington State, and I was always on his underdog player projections. Like he stuffed the stat sheet in a multitude of ways. I really think that this might be your Tyrese Appleby or Hunter Salas. I like Calmese a lot. And Trevon Spillers, he averaged 10 and 7.5 in his first year in the system coming from UNCW. I think he's still a really good piece. And they added Schwieger, who can play the 5 defensively, and Spillers can stay a little bit out of foul trouble because he is a good defensive player, but he's a little bit undersized. So I like Wake Forest this year. I have him as a tournament team. We'll see what Steve Forbes can do for him this year.
All right. And last time I checked my alphabet, that ends it, right?
Yeah, thank God.
Yes, is there any new teams in the conference? Western Michigan joined the ACC? Okay. Do you want to give away the most surprising team this year before we go in our order?
I don't know. We can do the order first and then do all the predictions at the end. That's how we've done it.
All right. Well, why don't you lead the way with the 18th ranked team?
Oh,
18th or 17th? 17th.
18.
I always forget that fucking shit.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You want me to go? I got Boston College. Their roster's underwhelming, and I don't think they're very good.
Yeah, I'm going Boston College as well.
We are all hook, line, and sinker here. BC at number 18.
At number 17, I got the Noles. Uncertain on this team, so give me the Noles at 17, first-year head coach.
I have Florida State 17th as well.
Yeah, we're agreeing too much, guys. I have them as well at that spot. So there's that.
At 16, I got Georgia Tech. I think that this next clump of teams are all pretty evenly matched. So Georgia Tech, I think Stoudemire and company, got a new group here. I got Georgia Tech 16.
Disagreements will come soon, but I've got Georgia Tech 16th as well. They had a top 5 defense last year. They'll be scrappy again, but it's not a sexy roster.
Guys, I swear to God, this is I have Georgia Tech at 16 as well. So, I wish there was some type of excitement we could offer this podcast, but it's okay. At number 15, Mac, who do you have?
Pitt. I don't think they're very good. New roster, and I don't believe in Jeff Capel. We talk about teams that or coaches that overachieve. I don't think Capel overachieves much. So yeah, Pitt drops back into 15. Each hit Pitt.
I have Pitt 15th as well.
Wow. Okay, now we have difference. Thankfully, to me, I got the California Golden Bears at number 15. My darlings of a season ago.
Yeah, I got Cal at 14. So a little bit of an improvement, I guess, for Madsen and company. So I don't think they're very good either.
I have Syracuse 14th. Too much youth, terrible defense last year. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Autry.
Mac?
At 13.
Oh, was I supposed to go 13? No.
Yeah. No. Did you give out your 14?
Oh, I'm sorry. 14, I have Syracuse. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think Autry's the guy. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I don't think he's the guy for the job personally. Don't score, you motherfucker. Did he score right now? He's out at the 1, right? Out at the 1. Sorry, I have a first touchdown prop on Sam Houston State. But yeah, I have Syracuse at number 14. And, yeah, I just don't – I think they're too young. I think the time – everyone was saying give him time. Well, the time's running out, and unfortunately the roster, in my opinion, is, like, younger. So I think have fun. Enjoy another payday. I hope I'm wrong. Mac, where are you going number 13?
At 13, I got Miami. They don't really test themselves in the non-con. I don't know how good they're going to be. Wild card team, I'll put Miami at 13.
I have Cal 13th. I think this is a team that's going to finish near 500. They've got good shooters. I like Madsen, but I don't know if they've got a true point guard.
At number 13, I have Virginia. I think it's going to take some time. I think Odom's the right hire, but I also think you're a radical change in difference from what they've been doing over the past, 10 years or 12 years, whatever it fucking was. So I think there's regression on the Cavaliers this year, despite the good hire. So at number 13, I have Virginia. Mac?
At 12, I got Syracuse. Up and down year. Like I said, somewhere in the middle of the pack here. So 12th, I got the Cuse.
12, I have Stanford. I think they're going to finish above this, but again, not a very sexy roster, but Kyle Smith, don't doubt him. He always overperforms preseason expectations. So they've got the most returning minutes. It's a team that should be higher than 12, but again, roster's not very sexy.
At number 12, I have the Pitt Panthers cruising on in with these Iowa State Big 12 elites coming in there. I think they missed the NCAA tournament.
You talked them up and you picked them fucking 12. And you're the highest on them, I think.
That's about to say, right? I think I gave him – Bienick, did you rank them already?
Yeah, 15.
Okay. There we go.
It's going to be great when they're horrible. 11, I got the Hokies, Mike Young. I think they're a little bit actually, I guess this would not even be an improvement in the standings. I think record-wise they're better, but I think they're around 500 in league play.
So we're at 11. I've got Virginia Tech there. Depth is young. A lot of reliance on the Euro Neo to kind of really perform well. So I've got the Hokies 11.
I got the Hokies at 11 too. We see eye to eye there, but they're ahead of UVA. Write it down.
I'll take UVA. I got Wake at 10. Like I said, man, I think they missed their window. They had all that returning production last year. They were supposed to challenge Duke for the league. I don't know if they were supposed to challenge Duke, but they were supposed to finish second in the league play last year. They finished like 5th. So yeah, Wake 10.
10th, I have Miami. Really good defensive pieces. I actually kind of like the roster, but I want to see it a little bit from Jai Lucas to really buy into them being, a top half team, tournament team type of area. We're getting into that bubble range, and I'm not going to be caught with my hand in the cookie jar.
I got Wake at number 10. Forbes, I do think missed his window slightly. I still think they'll be competitive. They'll be chippy night in, night out, but they'll also lose to some dumbass teams. Yeah. So, Wake at number 10. Number 9, Mac, what are you doing here?
Stanford, the Trees. The Tree Huggers will be good at home. Kyle Smith will overachieve once again. Stanford, number 9.
9th, I have Notre Dame. You got Marcus Burton, a lot of good shooters around them. Depth's really young, but they were both really good freshman classes, the freshman and sophomore class this year. So there's talent there, but they need to grow in some roles.
Number 9, I have the Miami Hurricanes, and I don't feel good about this one, to tell you the truth. I have no fucking idea. I was actually, my first time making this list, I thought they could be 15th. And then I said they could also be 5th. So I'm just, I'm throwing this shit in the middle. 9th, I think they're the hardest team to read in the conference, personally.
8, I got Notre Dame. Like you said, they got that backcourt back. I think they're improved. Solid year for Micah Shrewsberry, year 3.
8, I've been accused of being the only one that thought Brownell shouldn't have been fired, and then they were good the recent 3 years. I think they took a step back, though, this year. Like, I love Nick Davidson, but I don't know if the backcourt's as good as it's been in years past. So Clemson 8th. For me, they're right on that bubble.
He fucking scored, didn't he? He fucking scored. Son of a bitch. Yeah, at number 8, I have the Stanford Cardinal. I'm the highest on Stanford. You guys are talking about like they're winning a goddamn Pulitzer Prize over there, right? I'm the highest on Stanford after all you guys sitting there singing how great Kyle Smith is. You like to fuck him in a bathroom stall, right? I mean, god damn it, guys.
Hey, in February and March, you don't think he might be getting some calls? Hey, I would like you to come to this job to coach. I know he loves Stanford.
Well, he went there because of his son, man. His son, I think, has autism, or his daughter. Yeah,
that was a big selling point for Stanford. I don't know if that's his dream job or something.
Sending our best wishes with Coach Smith, man. But yeah, so I had him higher than you guys after you guys made him look like Pretty Boy Floyd. Mac, where are you going at number 7?
At 7, I got Clemson here. Slight step back, new roster, but Brownell keeps him in the hunt here for a bid.
7, I've got SMU. I think they've got a really good core of shooters in Boopy Miller, B.J. Edwards, Sam Walters, Jaron Pierre, the Jacksonville State transfer. If he's able to translate his game into the ACC, I think he will be able to. I think this team's going to be dangerous from deep.
7th, I have the Irish. I'm your leprechaun. I'm excited to watch them this year, actually. After I ate shit on them last year, reload. Let's go back to the well. Do I have Notre Dame highest ranked out of all 3 of us?
I think so. I got him at 8.
There we go.
9.
There we go. Where are you going at number 6, Mac?
Carolina, Hubert Davis, and if he finishes outside the top 5, watch out. Yeah, not a very good Carolina roster, in my opinion. And I don't trust Hubert.
6, I have Wake Forest. I think they're a tournament team. Forbes always gets good guards out of the transfer portal. I think he got another good one in Nate Calmes. And I don't think the front court's that bad. I like Trayvon Spillers in his second year in the system.
Me and Mac are aligned. I have North Carolina, the Tar Heels, at number 6. Tough year for Hubert. Something's going to happen. Do we worry about an in-season firing, perhaps, Mac?
I don't think so. He is one of their own still.
It would have to be really bad.
Yeah, they'd have to be like under 500 at Christmas. At 5, I got the Pony Express. Give me SMU and Andy Enfield here. I like this team, and I like Andy Enfield. I think he's a good coach, underrated.
5, I've got Ryan Odom and Virginia. Shooters and defense. I think it's going to play in an ACC that's got a lot of muck in the back half of the standings. They're going to win a lot of games just by outscoring teams.
At 5, I have Brad Brownell and Clemson. I think they get back to the dance. The guy, I mean, at this point, I talked shit about the guy a few years ago. I can't do it anymore. So sell me on number 5 with Brad Brownell.
All right, at 4, the Wahoos, baby. Give me Ryan Odom. He turns it around. They're going to get better throughout the year. And, yeah, watch out ACC. Virginia's back in the NCAA tournament.
4, I have North Carolina 4th. I'm betting on the youth talent they have here. I like the front court quite a bit, actually. And it's just whether or not I can trust Hubert to crack a top 3, and I can't. So, North Carolina 4.
At 4, I got SMU. That money. George W's there. You know, I know human being and fish can coexist peacefully. I also know the ACC and SMU can coexist peacefully, especially after a top 5 finish yet again. SMU, let's go.
And then I think we all have the top 3. I'll wrap it up. NC State 3, strong ass offer, comes in and gets the top 3 right away. Louisville back in second with that loaded backcourt, and then the Dukies still have the best team of Scheyer this year for me.
Yeah, same 3 for me. I've got NC State 3, dogs on defense. Will Wade typically has good offenses as well, so I like a lot of the pieces on this team. I think NC State's going to be pretty good this year. 2, I have Louisville. To me, I absolutely love this Louisville team. There's shooters, there's depth, there's experienced upperclassmen, a good head coach who's won big at previous stops. I actually think they're better suited for March. I have them in my Final 4 with that tremendous backcourt. And then number 1, I have Duke. I just think that Scheyer, he proved a lot of us wrong last year, was able to get that team to just go 19-1 in ACC and not really stumble at all. And this year it's a pretty similar team, a lot of youth stars, and I do think that the Boozers are the real deal. So I'm going to go Duke 1.
Shout out to the Boozers.
You have the same?
Exact same. It's kind of lame, actually. We did all this for that.
There was a lot of disagreement between 4 and 14.
Yeah.
Surprise
tournament winner.
I mean, the tournament winner is such a fucking just you're pulling shit out your ass. You have no idea the way half these fucking teams will look, who's healthy. But let's go with
give me Louisville. Louisville lost in the championship game last year. They knock off Duke this year.
I'm going to go Steve Forbes and Wake Forest.
Woo. That's a hot one.
Give me SMU to win the ACC tournament. Still, is it in Charlotte this year? Where's it at this year?
Yeah. It's either Charlotte or Greensboro. I think they have a contract between those 2 cities.
Oh, so it's perfectly regional. All right, SMU. Sleeper.
Virginia.
So we've typically done for like the power conferences, improve your record by like 3 or 4 games. But if you want to like just exclude last year's top 3, Duke, Clemson, Louisville, outside of those, who has the highest ceiling that you think could compete for a conference title?
I'm going to say SMU again.
Who are the options, Noah?
There's a low-hanging fruit here. NC State's like the sleeper by definition. They finished 5-15 last year.
Oh, yeah. Strong-ass offer. Let's go. Strong-ass turnaround.
Well, no, based on like what would be the biggest win total turnaround, NC State would be the correct answer. But if you're asking me like who, I mean, who could, what did SMU win last year? How many games?
SMU won.
They won 24. It's not even a turnaround.
13 in the ACC.
I mean, this is deer in a cage. NC State by far.
Yeah. The other one would be Virginia. If you think Virginia is going to be good like we are, then they were horrible last year.
8-12 last year.
I'm not on board.
He's not quite as high. Another candidate could be Miami.
Yeah.
They're too much of an enigma, though. Like, I can't – and anybody that says with confidence they're going to be nasty is either – you've either been to their practices or you're just talking out your fucking ass.
Maybe Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is worthy. Notre Dame's worthy of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, they were 8-12 last year. How about a bust? So let's take one of these. There were a couple of ties for 5th. So Duke, Clemson, Louisville. Then you have North Carolina, SMU, and Wake Forest that were tied at 13-7. Who's got the lowest floor out of those 6 to qualify as the bust?
Duke, Carolina, Louisville. Then who are the other ones?
Clemson, SMU, Wake Forest.
I think it's Wake.
Wake, and then probably North Carolina.
Yeah, that would probably be my next one. Yeah.
Can't believe Carolina.
I, by definition, in my own rankings, I have Clemson, but I'm gonna say Carolina because I think the bottom could really fall out on them if things don't go right.
Can the bottom fall out of Duke so we can just shit on them?
How many?
They have too many good players.
I think they'll be fine.
How many NCAA tournament teams out of this conference?
Oh, that's a great question.
I have 6. I have Duke, Louisville, NC State, North Carolina, Virginia, and Wake Forest.
I'm going to say 7.
I think it's a 6-bid league. What were they last year? 4?
4. North Carolina shouldn't even
4. Yeah, 4 should have been 3, but they added 2 really good coaches. So I think
there's going to be better teams.
Yeah, they're raising the floor with the last 2 hires cycles of Pat Kelsey, Will Wade, Ryan Odom, Andy Enfield. They've added real coaches in this league. So yeah, I'm with you. Kyle Smith, even. I mean, Kyle Smith.
Oh, that's what I mean. Is I think like so last year, part of the reason why Moore didn't get in was you looked at the strength of schedule.
Yeah.
And it was so low for a Power 5 that I think like you're just sitting there like this. It's not possible for them to consistently be that bad. It's very hard to be that bad.
Yeah.
Year in, year out.
Yeah. 6 for me. 6-bid league. Maybe they get 7.
I'm gonna go 7. Give me 7.
So we've got 6.3 bids.
Notre Dame's on the bubble. They always put Notre Dame in.
That's a wrap on like the
Notre Dame dating
stuff
game.
that I had prepped. I don't know if you have any other ideas.
No, I got prepped Sam Houston with the comeback right here. You might want to in-game. What are we looking at in-game?
Why did we bet on them?
I know. I'm kicking myself here, especially what a great opportunity. They had 2 weeks off, and this is the shit. What's the in-game? 7.5. Let's go in.
Yankees up 4-0 right now.
I'm going on this 7.
They had that one fluke inning where Boston made all those errors.
Place that bet. Oh, they're asking for my fingerprint. Okay. Checking my location, are you? Wager placed.
All right. Good episode.
I'll see you on the gridiron, folks. Folks, till next time, make sure you give Noah Bienick a follow on Twitter at NoahB77_. Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. Duke fans, address all hatred to him. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. The college basketball experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And let me just ask you folks out there, or let me tell you folks, not ask you because I don't like questions. If you're wondering what this fucking show is, well, we're a bunch of drunken idiots. Well, sometimes sober. Idiots is the main thing. But we love college hoops, I think more than most. We love college hoops so much that we do a show every night of the goddamn season, talking about every fucking game there is. And don't get me started on Domingo Hills. Set a line on those D2 games. We'll talk.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We love college hoops. We talk it every year, every game. We're not going to serve you this bullshit TMZ stuff. We'll be talking about everything. Tarleton State news. We broke it live on this show. All right? So subscribe to the college basketball experience because we ain't going away. I don't think.
Nope.
Unless I die. We got suspended off of YouTube for a couple of weeks. Some Russian nonsense. But don't worry about it. Who won, us or Russia?
Oh, we always win.
That's what I'm saying.
Who knows what I'll get into tonight?
What even happened to that country?
Hopefully I don't get shot tonight. That would be good.
Anyway, folks, till next time, we are the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.
Run and shoot. We can get run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with the cameras. shoot.